Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon, it's anime! Yes! Welcome to another episode of Animeshun. 3/4 of the squad is here at the moment anyways. No bitch ass, hoe ass, punk ass Brennan.
Bitch ass Brennan.
I'm just watching the door.
Yeah, see what comes in.
like-
No bitch ass Brennan. No hoe ass.
Trying to summon him. He's probably in like a real life.
Yeah, like a real meeting right now. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. See, so we was doing some corporate shit for real. Trying to crunch some numbers and get somebody's contract signed.
Hoe ass, bitch
I
ass.
don't even know who Brennan is. I don't even know.
That's not.
You know what we doing here, talk our shit, do our one-offs, debates, with all that stuff like that, man. Join that Patreon. All right, man, patreon.com/animeshun, SHUN. Join that, please. You get some exclusive videos, you get some polls, you get a lot of stuff with us. We talk with us for a good 15, 20 minutes up front. You know what I'm saying? So join that, man. You get to talk to us, and we get a lot of stuff done, man. But yes, there you go.
There he is. He's
Brennan
a little late.
Bitch ass. Hoe ass.
Hoe ass Brennan
Punk
Sliders.
Brennan.
Did you watch Mob at all?
Yeah.
You did? All right. We didn't get to it yet.
Y'all ain't shit. Just want to point that out there. There's no reason for that level of disrespect.
You have that.
I'm over here just like, man, let me just work, and
Yeah,
pay
man.
for my son to live,
No,
pay for
here
these
you
lights,
go.
Oh my God.
Here
Here
pay
we
for
go.
these
Here
lights
you
to
go.
stay on in
Here
the
you go.
studio.
You only
You know
get
what I'm
this
saying?
type
Like,
of
what
pettiness
is-
from the greatest
I'm just curious.
fucking anime podcast
This podcast,
in the entire
this
world.
podcast ain't paying for no electrical bills. You know what I'm saying? It ain't paying for our technician here, Amir. It ain't doing none of that. I'm doing that over there.
But are you here right now?
Literally, yes. I
Yes.
am.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
here.
I'm 100% here.
And
But
you're
you're
gonna
walking
probably go to podcast a little later.
Yeah, I'll come back later.
He'll be back.
I'll be back. I'm still in. I actually was in a meeting. Rob was right. I can fucking hear you guys.
That's what I was saying.
He was like, when he was in a real meeting, we was just like, oh man, damn, I wish you would have spit it on the floor. You would have picked it up because I wouldn't have picked none of that shit up.
I would give you $5 to get some more. That's what I would have. We got cleaners.
We do.
That's fucked up, Brennan. So we got cleaners? That's sick.
I mean,
Did I help employ people? Keep them
No,
working. Give
that
them
you're
things
just
to
giving
do?
them bullshit to do? That's
That's
fucked
not
up.
bullshit. The
mean,
comedic value of me throwing his
And
his
another
altcoins
human
was worth
has
it.
to
Adding a
pick it
level.
up. That's some villainous shit.
this is why
You're
I
a
go
s-
hard and call Brennan a bitch ass, hoe ass, because every time he'd come in here, he grabs my phone, he throws it under the couch,
It's very funny.
Yeah, he does.
and he does it
do
under
that.
the couch, not like just pulling
That's
up to the
whole
side
ass
like he
bitch
used to
ass
do.
behavior.
Yeah, that's literally it is. So I appreciate you, Brennan.
It's what you get what you deserve, sir.
Are we enemies now? Are we each other's antagonists? It was you and Ice, but what
I'm
happened?
sure both of you could aspire to that, but neither of you are that for me.
Nobody.
I don't
live.
I
for
don't want to
that.
be. I don't care to be.
Rob has,
I already
Rob has
have more
reached that
hair
level
than
on
you, so I've
occasion.
already
I will
won
say that.
this.
Yeah, you've reached that level on occasion, motherfucker.
Yeah, well.
As of lately, you have been on that shit
I
with
don't know what
stupid
you're talking
Syracuse
about.
shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
But no, I ain't worried about either one of y'all. And orange
That's
is a
fine.
terrible color.
No,
Is
it's
it?
great. Thanks.
You deserve
Look like a color a hoe
You
wears
deserve-
when he loses.
Yeah, your cousin's wearing orange right now. Everything. It's just like
That
He's
didn't-
on his own on that.
That
Yeah.
didn't, that didn't work out for you.
Damn it, Amir.
Anyway,
yeah, you guys know. So thank y'all for always tuning in and joining us. You know the episodes
Special
are on
guests.
back on YouTube, but you still don't get that Patreon exclusive up front though. It's a good
No.
20, sometimes 30 minutes. So man, join that Patreon if you want that. But we are back on YouTube. Type in Animeshun on YouTube and get those stuff going on. We will be reviewing episodes 9 through 10 and 10 through 11 of Mob Psycho 9 through 10 and My Hero Academia of 10 through 11 this episode. But before that, man, as always, we got a nice little poll for you guys, a weekly little poll. Which anime game would be the best video game, man? What you got for us, Ice?
Cool. We have today, which one of these games, as Keena said, if they were adapted into a video game. I tried to pick some that didn't have any video games, or maybe had like one bullshit mobile game
I
or
was gonna
something
say, I
like
was
that.
surprised to see. I mean, the top one that got it. I was like, this doesn't have one.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it won. Go ahead.
So the one that we had Mob Psycho, we had Chainsaw Man, we had Haiku, we had Berserk, and Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter. Take a little thought time. Which one do you guys think? First off, which one do you guys
Would I? I mean, I have the answers right here, but would I want to see?
Well, I guess we do that first. So then first is the one they ended up winning was Hunter x Hunter, which is, again, that's very surprising. It's been out since technically the early 90s, and it hasn't had really anything. And I looked.
That's
and
crazy.
it had like, I think it might had a mobile game or something, but it was nothing to the level of most big anime franchises get.
That's really surprising.
Baki has a video game that's
Does
more
it?
than, yeah, it's like on PlayStation. It's like a fighting game.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
Baki actually has a video game. It's like it was on like PlayStation 3 or something.
Shocked at that.
We were just talking the worst at the PlayStation.
If you was in the pregame, you would have heard us talk about that stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, I think so they got first place, but it was close. It was like 33% to 38% or something like that.
Yeah, 37% on top for Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter came through with that. Jujutsu Kaisen was a close second. Well, first off, the Hunter x Hunter people kind of describe, because that's another part of the poll. It's like, hey, pick your choice, and then which kind of game do you see this anime being? So Hunter x Hunter was more of a RPG type of game that you
sure,
can get to
yes.
use Nin, and you can manipulate Nin and I think that was what put it over. Is like, oh, I can, like, this is the closest I ever be to using Nin, and the different styles of that. Jujutsu Kaisen was a very close second. With the custom curse users was the bread and butter of that game, and then a Ghost of Tsushima style Berserk game was third, which is like carrying a sword around, fighting different demons and stuff that Guts has to fight
That'd be pretty cool.
throughout his
Dope,
trials, which is pretty dope. Haiku, and that's why I threw it in there, because I wanted some type of sports game.
That's a
and this-
volleyball game, right?
It's volleyball, yeah,
game.
yeah. And I was thinking about between that and Blue Lock, but Blue Lock has, soccer already has a gazillion different games.
Yeah, FIFA's huge.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that, a two birds, one stone type of situation with Haiku is like you haven't seen. I think somebody even said it in the comments. There hasn't been a AAA volleyball game in a long time, so I think this would actually be the best way to get volleyball on a gaming platform.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man was fifth, like an action free roam action fighting game. Chainsaw Man came in fifth, which I was kind of surprised about.
Same, yeah.
As big as Chainsaw Man is, and with this animation already leaning more towards a video gamey type of
Yeah.
animation, it only had like 4%, like it was a very low
It's
percentage.
2%.
2%, yeah,
2%, man.
yeah, and then for it to, and then the one that got 0% is Mob Psycho.
As
Mob
it
Psycho.
should.
All right, calm down.
Yeah, you're wild.
What are we gonna do? Have him run around try to get a girl in this freaking game? But like, hey, let me try to impress a girl.
Says the man who hasn't seen season 2.
I mean, I agree. It's probably when I saw that, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I thought it was gonna get at least one vote, but it got 0 votes. So shout out to everybody that
Yeah.
did it. We have I got a really funny one. Tomorrow I have all of the polls for like the rest of the year, and then some after that kind of set up. So I'm really excited to see what you guys say about tomorrow's poll. These next couple polls are pretty silly, but knowing you guys, y'all can turn them into something way deeper. So we'll see what you guys go with that. And then the Christmas poll, you guys are going to get a kick out of that one too. So, and if you're not on the Patreon, please, please, please don't be a week late to the poll. Hop in, because like right when I drop them polls at whatever time, it can be 10 a.m., 10 p.m., midnight, whatever time, people just wait,
yeah.
wait, hold on, wait, no, this. So
They're going at it.
Immediate responses.
yeah, so shout out to everybody. So don't be a week late in here when we talk about it on the podcast. Get in on the action right when it happened, and the only way you're gonna do that is when you subscribe to the greatest fucking anime Patreon in the entire world.
There's a switch up there.
Yeah.
The switch up.
It's switching, but it's still the same acronym, which is I think he was like, man, this is clever. I got one. They're gonna.
I mean, which one will you guys play? I mean, if you had to pick one of these, which one are you picking?
It's for sure Hunter x Hunter to me, because I feel like, you give me an RPG version of, and I can create my own player. If I can create my own player, if I got to play with like the main cast, it's fine too. But if I can create my own player and I can get to pick his style of nin, whatever it is,
Yeah.
or whatever, it would even be kind of doper is if the way you're playing the game, your styles have to lean towards that.
That would be pretty cool.
Instead of just like you picking and be like, yo, the way you're playing the game is making you more of this type of user. And you be like, oh shit, so now I'm kind of forced to kind of go this route and make it work.
Kind of
Yeah.
like but not really like a Def Jam fight for New York. type of situation where you got
Oh yeah.
different styles.
I was kind of thinking, and honestly, at first I was leaning towards like a Jujutsu Kaisen game would be really cool. But the more actually, Ice, you were talking about it, and Keenan, I think this leans into it too. I kind of thought of it almost if you made it like a Skyrim sort of thing, where like you're just making your person and like you pick what you're good at the beginning.
Yeah.
And those are like your main focuses.
Yep.
But yes, you're like the trees you can unlock are essentially you can get further once you're using it, and it does like your game play adapts to like what you can unlock.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun.
That can be super dope. And if you can, like I said, you can customize a player. Oh man, like or if you can play with the main characters and just level them up and get them strong. I would play with Canary. Like I would love to finally play with
Yeah,
Canary
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
and be able to like get her to like just. Cause I always felt like she should have been a part of that main cast. But like, yeah, I mean everything else. I mean, Berserk sounds like it could be dope also. How you're saying it. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima before. How you guys playing that game? It seems dope as hell.
Ghost of
very
Tsushima is
good.
awesome.
It's really
It's
good.
beautiful.
And then Jujutsu Kaisen, I feel like that would. I mean, I'm not. I'm not convinced as right now about how you how do you explain it again? Like from a video game perspective, like
So you have like custom curses and that you can, make, and then it's like you got a random curse and you got to do what you can with it, and you
so
kind
it's
of
not
work your way.
RPG. It's more like
It's like an action RPG kind of certain thing. Me personally, I would like a Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game, and it's like a Dragon Ball Fighters type of
fighters.
situation.
Yeah.
I think that'd be something cool to just be like have everybody and stack them against each other and kind of do the combo thing because they already fight in threes kind of as it is. So
Yeah.
to kind of have that three man type of situation, I think that'd be.
I think that's cool, but I think I would get bored of that quickly. I think with the RPG thing, it's just like, especially if you open this world up for real for Hunter x Hunter, this could be long as hell. Super pause, but like it could be, and it's just like, but it also too, when I looked at now that the manga is going again, it's just like there's more shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me think of even as a Skyrim thing because that game's so big. Like,
Yeah.
there's the main quest. Like, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna go hunt dragons or whatever I'm supposed to do, and you can be like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go do something else entirely
Yeah.
and sink hours and hours into that game, never even touching the main storyline. And I feel like
Oh,
that's
wow.
a very Hunter x Hunter type thing to do. Where you
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
like,
Greed
oh, the
Island
ants are
alone.
doing that. Like,
Yeah.
nah. Fuck what the ants are doing. I'm gonna go to Greed Island, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to York New City and see what the spiders are up to. Like you
Yeah.
can do like so many different things because so many hunters across the world are kind of like doing their own thing. You've
Yeah.
got like Gene or whatever his name is, just like off in some fucking corner of the world, not helping anybody or anything.
Fucking Leo chilling.
Yep.
Oh man, so yeah, that is a weekly poll. Let us know for everybody else that you missed the poll, but you can still save your answers on our social media and stuff like that. And let us know what you guys think. But let's jump into these recaps. I'm gonna jump off with Mob Psycho first.
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's do Mob Psycho first because Ice is still not caught up on My Hero yet. But,
He's getting there.
You on season end of season 5 or not?
Yeah, 5.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
mid.
Season
Yeah.
5. All right.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, do I need to watch all of that?
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
isn't that
You
all
should.
the
Even
villain stuff?
because they like practicing and shit right now.
There's like the matchups between like Class A and Class B.
Yeah.
I'd say it's worth it because like you're
Yeah.
meeting other characters in Class B, and then there's also a lot of like you're seeing how their powers are leveling up.
Yeah.
Who is? I don't want to spend too much time. Who is the like white haired kid with like the ropes bandages around his neck that got the bandages that
that's the voice dude, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the voice dude.
Yeah.
He's from he showed up in season 2 because he's got the same stuff that Mr. Aizawa's got
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, he was in Class 2 or something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
was-
He wasn't even in 1A or 1B.
Yeah.
I think he was in Class 2, and Deku fought him in the tournament. In season 2, and he has that power to be like, if you answer a question
Yeah.
that he gives you,
remember him.
he can
Yeah.
he can essentially control
He
your
can
movement.
be super dope and dangerous, but I feel like they're still underutilizing him. But yeah, go
Cause
ahead.
yeah, they
Definitely.
throw him a lot. I've just seen him a lot in like the opening scenes and everything. And every time they show the class, they show him. But I'm like,
Because in
Yeah.
this
am I supposed to
particular,
remember this dude?
because in this
Yeah.
particular arc, when they're having that versus battle with the classes, he's kind of a big part of that.
Yeah, essentially,
Yeah.
without getting too much into the spoilers, they're like, this kid is good enough to move up into Class 1 in general,
Yeah.
but we need to figure out if he's going to fit better with Class 1A or Class 1B.
Right.
So they insert him into like both
To
sets
see.
of,
Yeah.
of like fights to be like, who's he fit in better with?
Who's winning between him and Toge?
Sorry, Toge again?
From Jujutsu Kaisen.
The
Oh.
Kilt that be saying sushi
He
stuff.
does, because if you don't answer his question, you're safe.
Yeah,
Toge,
Toge,
be
you
like,
don't
he can
get a
just be like,
choice.
twist, and you just twist into fucking a sponge.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a wrap for
Toge.
you.
It's a Toge.
It's
Toge.
Toge. It's not
Yeah.
even a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But he can be dangerous because he can. Well, I almost said something, but yeah.
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 So yeah, let's get into this mob.
Spoiler King. Good old
You the one that
Spoiler
spoiled
King.
Mob for me, man.
Hey, man.
All right.
I mean, with Chainsaw Man, but yeah, but Mob Psycho episodes 9 through 10. Rob,
Here we
let us
go.
know the recap.
So after a night of dreaming about his crush Tsubomi, Mob finds out at school the next day that she is moving away to another town. He realizes in a panic that his time to ask her out is almost gone, and his percentage starts to go up bit by bit. At school, he asks those in Body Improvement Club for advice about how to ask her out. They, of course, just tell him to, have confidence in his muscles. He goes to the telepathy club next. None of them really have any experience with girls except for Tomei, who tells him to change his hairstyle, and Takanaka, who admits he also has a crush on her and plans to ask her out as well. The others just basically promise to support him from afar. Meanwhile, behind the school, a line of boys ask Tsubomi out, only for her to turn them down one by one in, on a conveyor belt, like just factory format. Mob is about to become another name on the list before Masato stops him and encourages him, hey, just approach her another time. Gives her some tips about what girls look for in boys. She asks him and also says, hey, she seems a bit distant most of the time, kind of has to seem to have a lack of trust in people since they mostly just like her because of her looks, and asks Mob what he even sees in her, what he likes about her so much. And once he stops to think about it, he doesn't really have an answer. He tells this story to Reagan and Sarizawa later, panicked that he might not like her for the right reasons. But Sarizawa says, hey, if your feelings are true to him, you should trust those feelings. And Reagan encourages Mob to just, be yourself rather than try to be someone or something he's not. But he's actually reading most of this dating advice off of Collins online. On his way home from work, he runs into Hanazawa next, and he advises Mob to just be confident, maybe show up with a gift. Mob says it's easy to be confident when you're popular like Hanazawa, but his friend reminds him, hey, we're very much alike, and it was Mob that first told him that. So, keep that in mind. At home, Mob tells Ritsu about his plan to ask Tsubomi out, and his brother starts to panic, and remembering just what he overheard one time about Tsubomi had a crush on a boy at another school. Seeing Ritsu's concern, Mob calms down. He's just like, how bad could it be? After chugging a glass of milk, Mob is ready to make a call to Tsubomi's house. He invites her to meet at a park they used to play together as kids after school the next day. And though he doesn't really sound confident as he's trying to be, she does agree to meet with him. The next day, everybody is super happy for him. Even his old enemy, Toshiki, who works at a flower shop, hooks him up with a way better bouquet than he could afford. Still, despite his calm, his percentage slowly ticks up. Mob is on his way to the park when he sees a car nearly hit a cat. He's able to stop that accident with his powers. Unfortunately, when another car speeds by a moment later towards a child crossing the street, there isn't enough time for Mob to activate his powers. He can only shove the kid out of the way, taking the hit for himself, and people gather around in shock as blood trickles out of Mob's head and onto the street. And elsewhere, Tsubomi heads to the park. As the crowd starts to gather around Mob, the sky turns dark. People notice their phones are starting to malfunction, and eventually a surge of energy shoots out from an unconscious Mob, causing a crater to form around him. Around the city, people start to notice their phones are not working either, and in the distance they hear the sound of rumbles and explosions as we see flashes of a figure covered in red energy moving through the city. People start to panic, and the news starts to report. Watching a news report at the office Reagan and Sarizawa watch on TV is this. People are just like, hey, we got to evacuate the city. These areas around here and here have to get clear out because of the danger. And they comment to each other, hey, wasn't Mob supposed to talk with Tsubomi today? Elsewhere in the city, a policeman calls in for backup, saying that a high schooler just walked through the area, destroying buildings and leaving a trail of chaos before walking off into the woods. And in the woods, we see that figure is, of course, Mob, looking absolutely furious and out of control, but still clutching his bouquet of flowers. Before he gets far, Hanazawa appears and tries to calm him down, but Mob only responds by trying to vaporize him. Hanazawa says he's gotten stronger, but Mob absolutely dog walks him, eventually punching Hanazawa with so much psychic energy it sends him flying into an apartment building on the other side of the park. People start to panic as the crazed Mob walks into the complex, and Hanazawa begs him to stop so that people can evacuate, knowing deep down that Mob doesn't want to hurt people. He can't break through to Mob, though, and he sends out another blast of energy that destroys the buildings instantly and hits Hanazawa with so much force, blood starts leaking from his nose and eyes, completely vaporizes his clothing, all this shit. Still, he pushes forward to try to get him to stop. Trapped inside his own head, Mob watches himself spiraling out of control as Hanazawa falls to his knees in front of him, burned out, naked, bald again. Still, Hanazawa stands and uses the last of his powers to try and save the people around him with protective barriers from Mob's destruction. As he collapses, evil Mob continues on in a straight line. At a nearby convenience store, two former SCAR members, Yusuke and Megumu, sense something is approaching. They step outside and see it's Mob, and they activate their powers to get ready to fight, though it probably doesn't look good for them considering he dog-walked him before. All around the city, pictures of a crazed Mob start to hit the web, and those who know him recognize him and worry what he might be capable of. Tsubomi, though, doesn't seem to be aware of what's happening and continues to wait for him at the park. Above the city, an Osprey plane loaded with psychic criminals flies overhead. They are briefed on, the area being evacuated so they can go all out to try and stop Mob at any cost. And if they're successful, they'll get years knocked off their sentences. Many of them think that, this is going to be easy, but among them is Toichiro, former leader of Claw, and the lead villain from Season 2, Keenan. And he explains to them that the job will not be that easy, but he doesn't need their help and dispatches the other prisoners before jumping out of the plane with no parachute for a chance with a rematch with Mob. And that's where we end episode 10 of Mob Psycho.
So that's where these guys are from.
Yeah. Fucking clown,
I was like,
man.
yo, where are these?
I know you were. I know you were. I'm watching it like Keenan has no idea who this guy is.
I was just like, these random guys gonna come out here and be dope as hell. What the fuck is this?
Well, most of the guys on the plane were just
Random.
randos.
The only people,
Okay.
only two people on there, a redhead guy and then one of the co-pilot.
Yeah.
Wasn't the redhead guy in Season 1 where
He was the leader of Scar and all that. So remember that little kid with red hair?
yeah.
He's that kid's dad.
Oh,
And he's the
okay.
main villain of Season 2, and he and Mob have a crazy fight.
Yeah.
Because my thing was, I was getting. I'll get into my thoughts about that stuff though. All right, so let's jump into the questions. Thanks for the recap, Rob. As always.
Rob.
Yeah, because
Recap.
the only reason that Dimple knew that Mob is technically not invincible is because this dude that has just jumped down almost beat him.
Got you.
He had to go past 100%.
Yeah, he had to go crazy.
Thanks for the spoilers, guys.
Oh, come
Yeah, Rob, fuck out of here. You had more than enough time.
Come on.
That's what people get mad at right now. Like, are you guys still spoiling Black Panther? I was just like, bro, you had your time with Black Panther, man. You had it's been about damn near a month at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, first question, man. If this season goes to pure action, because it's been a little slow, it's been a little draggy for this season so far, Season 3. If this season goes to pure action from here to the end, could it make up for the slow parts of the season, Rob?
I think it could help. That being said, even if it's pure action from here to the back, which I don't know how many episodes are left.
Here to the back is such a fun.
From here to back.
I thought the same thing. I was just
Because it
about
can't
to
be
say
from
that.
front to back. It can't be. Because it hasn't been. From here to back.
Here to the back. I'm sorry. I'm immature, man. I'm gonna always be. Go ahead, Rob.
Even then, it would still probably be, to me, the weakest season of the three. Unless these episodes just go crazy to a level that
And
we're
I'm
not
guessing if they're at
expecting
9 and 10, and they're known for going to what 12,
13.
12,
13,
13, something like that.
so
So,
there are 3 episodes.
thinking there's 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes left at this point.
They would
it
have to
feels
go-
like they're wrapping up. They're getting there.
They would have to go balls to the wall, bro. And I still think I wouldn't even say this is a good season. I would just go back and watch these episodes or these clips of these episodes if these fight scenes are happening the way they are. Because it's like, yeah, when Mob turns up and the animation's dope and they're fighting, it's fun to watch. It's a fun show. And but I don't care. I'll get into this girl asked a question online too. And it can be just real quick, but like, yeah, as of right now for me, no, I don't think this is going to help out. I don't think nothing they can do can make this season a dope ass season to me. I was like, all right, these last 3 episodes were fire, but this season was still trash. That's how I would feel at this particular point. Ice.
Hey, man.
This is why he's the GOAT. This is why it's the GOAT. Goat Psycho. That's what you were calling it.
Hey, man. I don't think that there's nothing that they can do to make these, because it didn't have to come to that. Like, we didn't need those. Even if it's something crazy, I think that's gonna make me more mad. I think not that I would rather them go slice of life, but I would rather them, like, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah.
Cause like, where was this at? Episodes 1 through 8, through 9 through 10. Like, where was this at? Why didn't y'all give me this? Because we didn't need the aliens.
But
We
really,
didn't need the love.
three through now, because I feel like one of the 2 episodes is like it had a little bit of action.
They
in
was
it.
fighting
there
when
was
it fight
him and
Dimple and
Dimple,
stuff.
that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was cool, but I think like we could have got to this sooner.
I completely
For sure.
That would have pissed me off. It would make it better. It would make it better, and I feel like it's gonna get you kind of hype for season 4 because I haven't read the manga for Mob all the way through, so like I don't know where they're going. So
Yeah.
I just like I don't know. I'm very, very kind of upset where they went to, especially how much I hyped it up, especially coming off of season 2, which was awesome. But yeah, I don't. It wouldn't make up for it, but it make it feel a little bit better.
Yeah, because I saw online this lady. She was on a podcast about anime, and she was saying how like if you, I forgot how she worded it, but she pretty much like if you only watch action anime, like she was essentially calling you a loser, like you're a lame ass for only watching action, and it's just like my thing is just like slice of life to me. Like I can handle Because she's like, you need story. I was like, story is in some of these action animes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can only watch
That's
the
what make reveals crazy because
Yeah.
it's a story.
Yeah, I can only watch an action anime if it has a good story. If it only
Yeah.
has action, at some point I'm gonna tap out anyways too.
Baki.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baki's just like, all right, bro, you're really giving us nothing. It's like, oh, my girlfriend, I gotta fight again, and it's just like, bro, I don't need
What'd he say?
my girlfriend. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, I mean, we do stuff for our girls, and I tell you, that's technically Baki's with a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
something like that.
So I guess I can get it from that perspective, but it's like, yo, you know, somebody says, stay off that booger sugar, Keenan. What are you talking about, bro? Oh, my nose is always running, dog. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
I
You
got
late
tissue
to
in
the
pocket.
program
Yeah,
if you
it's
just not
it's been
seeing
since
that.
I was like 6 years old. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I don't think you have to expand your palette necessarily, you know, fully. I think there's enough in action or in even your slice of life anime that you might just want to watch. I don't care to watch somebody talk about like, you know, regular life shit in a cartoon.
And live action does slice of life better.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
So I'd rather watch a live action slice of life than cartoon slice of life because I'm going to animation because you guys you far exceed the boundaries of what live action can do.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I'm there.
Yeah.
And even for me personally, like even if it's live action, I'm kind of tapped out on shows about high schoolers trying
I
to figure
agree
out
with
their
you
love
too on
life.
that.
Those shows just I've got some friends that are that swear by shows that are all about like high schoolers, just like
what's the Archie one?
Riverdale.
Riverdale,
And
yeah,
like even that
yeah.
one's crazy. Like when I hear about what's going on that show, it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
they have superpowers
Yeah.
and people are coming back from the dead. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But even so much of like Sex Education, I know
Yeah.
that was on Netflix. A lot of people like that.
Yeah,
and
yep.
it's just kind of like and there's some other ones that escape my mind, and they may be well written, but for
Yeah.
me, I'm just not interested in high schoolers relationships. Like
What?
Euphoria, like
Yeah.
I could not care less.
My wife lived by Euphoria.
And everybody keeps telling me, how are you a filmmaker? I said, want to be a director, and you haven't seen Euphoria. Some of the stuff is-
Euphoria, the clips
and-
that I've seen and some of the stuff that when I walk into her watching it, it's shot well.
It looks like it's shot beautifully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's written pretty well for what I've seen. But I was just like, I'm not going to sit here and I can't care about, like you said, a 16-year-old going through like, I'm struggling with life. It's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about that.
It's
I
not.
just don't care.
One second, real quick, guys.
Okay.
Netflix is making a My Hero live action movie.
I did hear about that.
I did not hear
a
about
little
that.
bit.
I didn't.
Oh God.
Rob
Yes.
just the other Rob, just talked about it
Yeah.
in the chat. I think that's Rob.
Who's this playing All Might? Is that they already have him?
Yeah.
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, the writer.
Oh, so they don't have a they better not have somebody yet.
No, it's just I'm gonna save Netflix millions of dollars. Don't do it. It's not gonna be good.
They don't care
We're
what you say,
gonna
Rob.
trash
They're already making
it.
a One Piece already. They
They didn't learn from Cowboy Bebop.
They learned nothing. They didn't learn from Death Note.
You fumbled two animes that were easy to make, and you fumbled both of them. So now you want to add action anime to where you have to have
you have
visual
to have
effects,
CGI,
CGI.
yeah.
It has to be top
There's
tier.
no way.
You're going to drop. You're going to literally. You're trying to go bankrupt. You're trying to.
in the
kill
space
Netflix.
that y'all already going bankrupt-ish from what we've known. And you've already had a recent because Cowboy Bebop was this year, correct?
Either top of the year
Yeah,
or
top of the year
like-
or,
yeah,
or very
2020.
late last year.
Yeah.
You dropped all this money into Bebop for you to cancel it after the first season, and you said, fuck it. We're going to double down, triple down, quadruple down, shit, because they did a live-action Mob Psycho.
And then you go. Then you said. Then you go. You know what? We know you guys loved Death Note. We're gonna do a series now.
Yeah.
So we gave you the movie. We're gonna do a series live action. It was just like, y'all are just on some bullshit.
Just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. All right, man.
Leave it
I
alone.
didn't want to. I just saw somebody said it in the chat. Rob said it in the chat, and I wanted to.
Yeah, a buddy of mine sent me a link
That's
about
sick.
that today. And
Yeah.
we all agreed
That's
that it was
sick.
probably a bad
Worst
idea.
thing ever. All right. So we saw in Mob Psycho that you know, people would do anything for their girl, show off in front of their girls. What is something that you've done to show off in front of a woman to get her attention, or just maybe even people? I'll go back to when I was, I guess, younger, since this is kind of younger thing. When I was like middle school, high school, I was pretty good at basketball. So anytime the girls came on
Oh yeah.
the court,
Of course.
let me tell you something. I was all bones, but that shirt came off. That shirt came off. Rock, give me the rock.
Yeah.
I'm making noise now. I'm
Yeah.
shooting from deep. I'm going into the lane. Oh, hey, foul. Come on. Call it, baby. I'm getting in people's faces. Yo, It was the worst. But the girl go, oh, look at Keenan over there. He's sweating. Ooh, he's good at basketball. I had a jumper suit. I would knock down Jay in your face. I was just like, it's so corny to think about now.
Yeah.
But when you're especially at that age, when you have girls on your mind,
Man.
ain't nothing corny until you get called out for being corny. Until a girl be like, nigga, you corny. You be like, oh shit.
Damn, I gotta dial it back.
I gotta die.
I gotta dial it
Once a
back.
woman
a couple
tells
notches.
you needed some corny shit, you be like, wait, oh shit, I'm corny or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. So yeah. What about you, Ice?
I think mine was similar. I think there's other times that, like in high school, before I went to the school that I graduated from, I went to a private school and I played basketball and I was a dog. Like I was just dropping 30 points and I was just like, I eventually got it in my head that I need to go to a bigger school. But prior to that, I say all of that because I was killing. We was on like an 8-0. Our team was like 8-0, and we was killing. And then these girls. They never really came to the games, but I'm like, nah, I'm a dog. Like y'all got to come see me, come see me, baby. And then we were playing. I remember my mom was there. My dad was actually there. Like everybody was there because we played a team we had already beat. I'm like, oh, this is James Sandoval. Like we already beat them. We blew them out by like 25 points. Yeah. So I'm like, and I dropped like 36 that game. So I'm like, oh, it's money. Like all the girls come to this game. They're like, y'all got another game? I'm like, no, come to this game. Bro, we got smoked. We got fucking smoked. We got
Did you ball,
dog.
though?
Well, it didn't matter. I had like 30, but it didn't matter because I don't know, they was just watching film. We were too cocky because we just watched them by 30 like 2 weeks ago. Like basketball is very those schedules are.
If you ball though, you should still be like, they can't guard me. So it's like you should still be like, all right.
I got mad. I flipped the chair.
Man.
We got dog walked, and I was just like, I remember. It's funny too. Icy Mama was watching it, and I was just like, "Hey, girl," she was just like, "Y'all lost, like y'all lost. Get the fuck." And all her homegirls and stuff like that.
I just like this pulling his collar, like, well,
He was like, "Why'd you invite?" She was like, "The first thing I'm coming off like, she's like, why did you invite me to this game and y'all gonna get blown out like this?" I'm like, "You think we knew that? You think I would invite you to this?" It was tough. It was rough.
Rob, what you
But
got
that
for
was
it?
yeah.
What you got for us, Rob?
Back in the day, I would say like I tried sports, and it was clear to me from a pretty early standpoint. I'm just like, this is not where I'm going to shine. And then our school had a theater department. I'm like, oh, all the girls are in the theater department. I can spend time with the girls in the theater department. Most of the guys in there are gay. They're not interested in these girls, so they're looking to spend time with somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, we can run lines. I can sing you a song. Like,
Run lines gimmick.
we can run lines.
Hey,
You know,
you want to go back and do it?
I'm performing up there on stage, so that was how I met like almost all the girls that I dated for a long time, was just like, just doing shows, and like for the most part it worked out great.
Yeah.
And then there was one specific time to kind of turn it around like you did. Like I was in college and I was doing the show, and I was like, I was feeling pretty good about myself. Like I was like, yeah, I'm killing this role. It was a lead role. Like it was me and this other guy or whatever, and that were kind of like the two leads, and we were out shopping for something. I forget. I was out with this girl that I was going to school with at the time. We were out doing something, and I noticed there was like one of the newspapers was advertising like, oh, a review for this play that I was in. And I was like, oh yeah, like this is the play I'm in. Like this is the review or whatever. And I opened up and I was like reading it. I'm reading it in the store in front of hers. They're saying like, oh, everybody in the show is great. Everything is so great except Rob Fonda.
Whoa. Damn.
They called me out by name as like, he is not good. And I was like, I just closed out. I was like, yeah, we should go.
Did you not? You didn't finish when it got to your name. You get.
I finished reading it. I didn't read that part out loud. I just was like,
and it was.
I was like, anyway, yeah, it's not really in here.
What?
Yeah, so like.
What in high school though? How did
I was in college.
Oh,
I was
you
in
in college? Okay, college.
Yeah, I was doing like a community.
like that.
I don't know. I mean, I went on to do like I won some just like local stuff. Like so, I did okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't like the end of it. That
Suck
was,
it.
I came back. All right. I came
Do you
back.
agree with their analyzation of you? Or the critique, I guess.
I don't even remember exactly what he said because it was like as I was reading it, my mind just went blank and my knees went like out. And I'm like,
wow,
I gotta get out of here. But he did not like me at all.
Damn.
I remember whoever it was that wrote
You
that
gotta
review
see
said
me.
I got
You gotta see.
I got
He had-
destroyed in that review.
He had smoke. He's like, oh, I got smoke for this motherfucker. He was
Yeah.
actually amazing in his
He
play
was
too,
red.
but not
Yeah,
today.
not today.
When I control the media, baby, that's not how it works.
Man, I thought I was like, that's the thing. I was like, I'm doing well in this show. Like, it's one of the first times I had like a lead in like a non-school production.
Yeah.
I was like out in the city. Like anybody could have auditioned for that. And like, granted, like it's Syracuse, it's a small city.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I was just like, man,
he had that. Somebody said
he came for me, and it did not work out. I did not tell that girl about that review.
Hell no. I
That
said
did
if-
not work out.
That
That's good.
would
That-
have hurt, bro.
How has intellect got you ladies over time? Because I feel like that's your strongest suit. Obviously,
I'm sure it has,
yeah.
but like it's tough for her to show that off because like definitely in school there would definitely be some girls that were like, "Oh, you're smart. Like let's
Yeah.
team up for this, whatever."
Yeah.
But that never went anywhere.
Let me tell you something, bro. I'm not even the smartest person in this. I remember a girl was like, I'm into you, Keeney, because I'm a sapiosexual. Whatever. What's sapiosexual?
Sapiosexual.
And I was just like, first of all, when she said, I was like, I didn't know what the fuck that means. So I was just like, oh, for real, girl?
Yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
meant something like a Scorpio sexual.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Whatever. So when I Googled it, I was just like, oh, that's what it means? And I was just like, yeah, you just adjust. If you like a guy, you adjust things and make it to where, if I know how to use big words or the certain words, and I don't know what they mean, but I know how to use them in a sentence.
Yeah,
Like
you
a
just
lot of
repeat however you heard it.
however I heard it.
Well, that's the thing is like I
Yeah.
remember talking to like some like there's one particular girl that I dated in high school. She was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm constantly dumbing myself down."
Yeah.
And I know my friends do the same thing. So we come across as dumb, so guys will think they are smart.
Wow.
And, like,
What in the mean
make us
Girls
feel
is
good.
going
Yeah,
on?
essentially just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, because then the guy gets to like explain to us, but that's
Yeah.
us trying to get more time with them. Even
Yeah.
though I know what the fuck this, I know how this works.
Yeah.
I know what this is. I'm just looking to talk to you.
Don't do that.
I'm-
Yeah, I don't like that.
But that's also
I'm
high
really
school
good
gamey
in math,
shit, you know
and
what I
you're
mean?
actually really bad at math.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
Very much a Mean Girls thing.
Somebody said it's like if I drop 30 and if I drop 30, they lost. They got dog walked.
That's how I look at it too. It's like, yo, that's what I'm saying. He's like, Nick, I'm killing.
Yeah,
We
but
love
at
it.
that time they was like pushing me to be the leader of the team. It was like you can't. There's no I in team, and you have to take the team loss. So I was like, yeah, we lost as a unit. But in my head, I'm like, bro,
Y'all lost. I had
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
I had 30, you motherfuckers. All right, next
man.
question, man. Have you ever had a crush on the most popular girl in school, and did you ever get to ask her out? Ice.
I think at certain points in my life, I think the one that comes up the most, or that I think about when I wrote this question, I didn't get her. Later on in life, I did, but in elementary school, there was this girl named Mornice, and everybody was on her for good reason because she was gorgeous. And I took down. I'm not having sex in elementary school, but like I've had everybody in her crew liked me except for her, and I was just like, what do I have to do? And it just never happened. It just never, like, throughout elementary, because I've known her since fucking kindergarten, and I was like, I thought like having everybody around her would like get me up to her, and it just never happened. I didn't even get to ask her because by the time I actually got through her whole clique to get to her, my homie Antoine got with her, and it was just like, well, this is my brother, so I can't even can't even do it, dog.
Rob.
No to both. Oh, I'm sure I had a crush on the most popular girl at school. Did I ever get a chance to ask her out? No. So, yeah, I mean, they're definitely, especially because I think at that point I was just like, that's not really my lane. And I was just like, because I will say this, like another story I remember, and I'll just say this really quick. Like I remember it was like 8th grade. This is before I got into theater stuff. This is when I was still just like, I could play sports. I can do that. This is what I'm doing. Like this is how I can get social capital. And I was talking to this other guy, and I was just like, man, this other kid, Sean, like he's coming up. Everybody loves him now. Like he was getting like made fun of last year, and like now he's more popular than me. And he goes, you're not popular. And I was like, damn. I mean, that was harsh, but I guess a true assessment. So
He was gonna crush you,
he
Rob.
really was.
Was it the same dude that wrote that article?
Maybe I think his name was John. I don't remember, but
That's hilarious.
That's
I don't even
wild.
remember your name anymore,
Hey, bastard.
sir.
What if he's doing terrible in life right now? He's just like fucking like doing horrendous right now. Would you be like, well, fuck you? Or would you be like, oh, man, that
I'd
kinda
feel
sucks.
bad. I don't. He was a nice enough guy. I wouldn't wish that.
I want to
bad
look
on
up
him.
Rob Flan to see what his ass doing. He was terrible. He was a nerd, a weak ass punk bitch in elementary and middle school. Let me look him up, and then they see everything that you've done.
And they start
Man.
doing what you did when you read the article. They start reading kind of lower. Is it? What happened with Rob?
I wonder if I could find that. If that article is still out there, I'll see if I can find it.
That's wild. I actually got a chance to. I got a chance to actually date the most popular girls in middle school, and then even when she went to high school, her first few years, she was super popular. But we dated for like a week. I don't want to say her name or anything like that, but she was like the best dressed. Like she didn't dress like sexy. She was a girl that had like the J's, dope jeans. Like she just knew how to put together a good outfit. And we went out for a week, and nothing happened. Like literally, all I did was walk her to like I think her mom worked at like the school in between our middle school and the high school that we eventually ended up going to. There was like a magnet school in between us, and I would just walk with her, and that was it.
Y'all talk during the walk?
Yeah, during the walk we talked. It was like I was just like great for conversation with her, but I never got a kiss, even on the cheek. I was like, I remember.
What grade is this?
This is like the 7th or 8th grade. And I remember being like, hey, I mean, it's been like a few days now. Well, we ain't kissed yet. Because I didn't kiss all my girlfriends super early at that point. She's just like, you just gotta wait for good things or some bullshit like that.
Oh no.
And then I don't think I ever got a kiss from her. And I was just like, this is a waste
Who
of
broke
my
it
time.
off?
I think she did. I think she was kind of just like, you know what, like this is not gonna really work for me, and and then she ended up getting with somebody else. And then when she got to high school, literally every dude, even though she was a freshman and a sophomore at the time, every dude was just like, yo, who is she? I need to get with her. And then we were still like cool friends. So I had like 2 classes with her. And she would still have me walk with her like a simp ass nigga. But even luckily at that time, I had girlfriends. I would just be like, if another girl was just like, yo, Keaton, could you come here? I'd be like, hey, I'm out. I wasn't like, well, I'm with so and so. I'd be like, hey,
you
I'm
wasn't
out.
sacrificing what you had.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like, everybody would go like, hey man, what's up with so and so? Can you give me the insight on that, man? I'm just like, hey man, good luck.
Yeah.
I don't even have an insight on that. I'm cool with her. I don't even have an insight on that. But like, so I don't even call it lucky. It sucked actually. I wish I didn't get that opportunity.
And I wish I never met her at all.
All right, last question for the Mob stuff. Do you think Mob will be a better hero or villain after seeing all this stuff, this crazy stuff going on, him fighting his technically his rival? Do you think he'd be a better hero or villain in this, Rob?
Man, honestly, I was watching this just like if this show turned out to be like, oh, Mob is the villain that everybody has to like figure out how to beat. I'm like, that would be an interesting show,
Right?
Like if you kind of start out with the hero being the hero and showing like, wow, he's so powerful, he beats everybody and like wins everybody to his side, only for him to lose control or like flip or something. And they were just like, you've been watching this guy and rooting for this guy for like a few seasons, knowing he can't lose, only to be like, oh shit, we have to beat this guy, and I don't know how we do that.
Yeah.
That to me would be really interesting, and I could see him being like a super, intimidating villain, especially if he's just like how he is now, just like totally deadpan, just
Cold,
like
just going
he's
through,
just I'm just plowing through you, just like there's no stopping. He is an unstoppable force, and just like he's at his wit's end, like he's
I'm
done.
happy. What's his name?
Hanazawa?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad he
Hanazawa.
didn't stop him.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
there
that would've
wasn't
been-
the power of friendship, and I remembered something from back. I'm glad that he just beat the draws off his ass.
Yeah, literally. Literally beat the draws off him. What's your take, Ice, on that? You think he'd be a better villain?
I think we're only saying that because he's a great hero. I think if he came, if you watch season 2, you would say he's a great hero. But yeah, I think that's the only reason we're saying that, because if he came out the gate as this kind of, because right now he's really one-dimensional in this space.
Yes.
He's very one-dimensional, powerful, but still one-dimensional. So if he came in as a villain like that, then no. But if he turned villain from this point forward, part of me would say I'm cool with that. But he hasn't ran up against anybody that would be a good person that can match him and potentially beat him. So I really wouldn't want to see him as a villain just for the story perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. From a story perspective, I mean, I feel like what's going to end up happening. Well, I guess I get into that in my take, but like, if they wrote this correctly and they can give somebody in there that's like I said, I didn't watch season 2, but I wish there was somebody in there that can actually like that did beat him in a sense.
Yeah.
Was there somebody that beat him or no?
No.
No. So I feel like there
Ultimately,
needs
no.
to be somebody that can beat him clearly, and he needs to get over a hump to get to that level. And so if you don't have that, making him the villain, it would just be like, all right, I wouldn't know who the hero would be, who I would even root for to beat this guy. I feel like there's nobody even there to
On
even
that other side.
on that other side for a scale perspective.
Yep.
So it'll be kind of tough. But I mean this he looked cool like this.
Yeah.
True.
There was a part of me that was just like, get him, Mob. Light him up.
Yeah, I was just like shit.
Get him, Mob. I got him.
So let's jump into our likes and dislikes of the show in our rating. I'll go first. After watching this, Yeah, all these episodes have just been pointless to me up until this point, and then for the most part, visually, Mob is great when Mob was getting active. You know what I'm saying? That episode with 9 or whatever it was, I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't care. This is my prediction. He's going to be out of control, and then the girl's going to be the one to calm him down.
Oh yeah,
And that's going to be the lamest fucking shit to me.
Really?
Yeah, because it's predictable.
You don't
one.
like simp ass
Yeah.
shit.
I don't have a problem with some stuff, but what I'm saying is from this perspective and Mob, I don't really care. It's like I don't really care about their relationship right now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's nothing that made me that tied them together. So it's like, I like them together.
Do you like Black Widow and Hulk?
I don't have an issue with that. But even when I look at My Hero, it's like they're not really together, but like you could tell Deku and
Floaty
Chaco.
Girl.
Floaty Girl,
Yeah.
They have clearly they have something.
Yeah, they got chemistry.
And I would be hurt if something happened in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Because I was like, I like their dynamic together. So it's not that I don't like simp stuff. It's just like right now I just don't care about her. And then even with Mob, I don't really care about Mob so much. Maybe when I watch season 2 at some point, I will care about her more. But saying that to say this, like what I didn't like about these episodes, like I said, that episode before, I think episode 10 was just whatever. I did like how he went out against his rival, old dude, and you know he literally beat the draws off this dude, and all that action was super dope. Mob was kind of crazy. He looks unstoppable, but these 2 episodes were together. And one episode was really bad to me that I didn't give a shit about, and one episode was really cool to me. And I would just have to give that a strong ass 6,000.
A strong 6. Girl, you a strong 6.
Well, this goes.
That's more than I thought you were going to give it. To be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
that's
scale is
it.
a 7, technically.
Yeah, you a strong 7?
But what did Kevin Samuel say? There's no 7s, and you can't make yourself a 7 because that makes it too easy. But go ahead, Rob, because I know this is your shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. This was really a tale of two halves in a way, where I was also very bored by episode 9. And I hoped, I think I would feel differently if we didn't have that 2 episode like alien arc, which to me is like, I don't know why that's in the season where it is.
Yeah.
Like I see them doing that kind of stuff sometimes, but usually it's at the end. Like they'll have their big blow up, Mob will fight the big villain of the season, then they'll have like a little like 1 or 2 episode whatever at the end to be like, hey,
Or like a credits rolling type of situation.
Right. There's number 1, no reason for it to be 2 episodes. Number 2, for where it is in the season, to me, completely ruined the momentum of what they were doing.
Yep.
And so I think episode 9 suffers for that because I'm just like, here we go again. And what I hoped, and maybe I'll be wrong because I'm at where you're at, Keenan, where I'm like, it seems as though he's going to run into this girl and she's going to talk him out of it. And I agree that I don't really. It seems predictable. I hope that's not what happens. And what I kind of hoped Mob would get out of these episodes is realizing he doesn't really like her all that much.
Right.
That's what I thought it was kind of going when What's-Her-Face was like, why do you even like this girl? Like everybody likes this girl and they just like her because she's pretty.
Yeah.
And for that reason, she doesn't really like anybody else. And I don't really get a lot out of Mob that explains. The only thing that they've really shown of why he has a deep connection to her is because she was the first person that he showed his powers to, and he felt comfortable enough to do that. But she eventually got bored and like walked away from all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not rooting for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I want Mob to be like, to kind of find a new dynamic and find somebody else that appreciates him more.
Yep.
And so anyway, all that to say, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Keenan, where episode 9 was very whatever for me. When he got hit by the car, I was like, oh shit, okay, stuff might start to change here.
Yeah, right.
And 10 was great. I enjoyed 10 a lot.
Yep.
But as I said earlier, even from here to back, even if it's straight
Right
action,
to the goose, to the back.
I think it would be. It's still one probably of the 3 seasons the weakest one, and yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5,800.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said. That's what I was thinking in my head before you gave your 6. I'm gonna stick with that. It's a 5,800 to me.
Okay. Ice.
I think these 2 episodes is like, hey, why do you hate Mob Psycho and why do you love Mob Psycho? And I feel like these 2 episodes encapsulated both of those things. Episode 9, why people might not like it or be apprehensive to it, and then number 10 was like why I fucking love it, and the which is the animation and all of that stuff with Mob. What I think is happening, which I hope would happen, is this situation, because it is being live streamed on the news and everything. I do hope that this situation makes Mob public enemy number 1. And if that's the case, where it's just like now he's quote unquote the bad guy, and the redhead dude is seen as the good guy, and he has to kind of fight his way through that. I think that's a really good thing because I think up until this point, people have been either liked him or they've been neutral about him.
Yeah.
So if he's in a space where he's hated and he needs Reagan and he needs all everybody around him to kind of get him back in the good graces of everybody.
He's been literally like one step away from being worshipped as a god.
Exactly.
Almost the entire time.
Exactly. So I think that would be great space for him to be in. Is like, we saw all of this destruction that you created. And man, I don't know if you were in your right mind or not, but you're still the person. You're still the face. You still committed these crimes. You need to pay for that, and have him fight through that the back half, and then into season 4 of his fight of going through being the bad guy. I think that's what I want to see.
And also too, I'll say that's a good thing too. It's like knowing that you can't control your powers. You are a threat.
Yeah.
When you snap, you can't control yourself.
Yeah.
now
So
you're
if there's like
dangerous.
a higher espers where it's just
Right.
like, hey, we've been watching you this entire time. We need to come down and handle you,
Yep.
or we need to come down and help you. And it's just like him navigating through that space. I think that'd be a really dope space to get to. But I think it didn't take 9 episodes to get here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could have been out the gate. There's nothing that I saw in these last 9 episodes before the 10th one that was like, they not bringing the aliens back. Dimple has nothing to do with this. Like, none of what I've seen on these past episodes made this okay. To where they brought everything back, and it was just like, all right, we see why we put us through that. And I don't know what happened to make them deviate from the formula of 2 to 3 slice of life episodes and then heavy action oriented on the back. They doubled down on slice of life, and it's not paying off to me. And I don't know how maybe the fan base, other from my fan base, because it's usually more times than not we've been the outliers. And us being the podcast have been the outliers of thought processes like this. But hopefully we're not alone in the thought process for this, because it's been rough. So I say that to say 6,200. I'm strong. 6,200 for these stretch
I will
episodes.
just follow up. Unfortunately, guys, I cannot read you that bad review I got because that publication is shut the fuck down. They don't exist. I outlived you. I buried you, Syracuse New Times. I buried you.
Yo, that dog. For him to come at you with a college like article like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's whatever.
We need the first off,
you-
fuck Syracuse New Times and the click you
oh
claim.
my God.
Did you smash somebody he was with?
No, I don't know who this guy is. He's just some guy that worked at the newspaper.
I wouldn't
So
know
this
know who you are though.
20,
Because
21
like he showed up and my name's in the program or whatever, so he would have been like, "Oh, I liked this guy's performance. This guy was good. This guy fucking sucked. Let me write about that." You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it was like targeted. Like he was just like, "Fuck you," but he clearly showed up to the show. And he didn't like what I was putting out there. And that's fine. I got other good reviews for that show.
I'll tell you this, man. I want to see this shit on tape. I want to see
Never
this
in
play
life.
on tape because I want to see if Rob was. I'm like, ooh, Rob, you were
Your
terrible.
pops, your pops might have it.
I could have been. I don't know if he had that
Did he
one.
record
Oh,
it? Did he
man.
record it?
Oh, definitely not. No, because like at this point it was like I wasn't getting. It was community theater. It wasn't like a school production.
Okay. All right, man. So that's the end of the Mob Psycho stuff. I think Ice is gonna start getting into some My Hero spoilers.
Yep.
Brennan,
I gave him a heads up.
Oh, you
So
gave him a heads up?
We'll see if he's able to join, but we can at least
we
start
jump
with
into the recap. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get to the My Hero recap. We give Ice a little second to get up out of here so he doesn't hear any spoilers because this shit is still going the fuck down in this show.
yeah, it is all gas, no brakes.
Absolutely.
Oh, here he comes, switching in, changing the guard.
All
We
right.
got him.
Substitutes. All right. So Rob, recap My Hero Academia. Let's get it.
All right.
Upgrade here.
Here we go. As Bakugo takes the hit for Deku, he gives him the advice he's always needed. Don't try to win by yourself. As he falls, Todoroki rushes in to catch him and his father and bring them down to safety.
Fucking child, bro. I'm sorry. He's a child, bro. He's a
Brennan.
child, man.
Brennan!
He's gonna be trying to take my phone and throw it.
Brennan!
No, as soon as I got here, we both looked at it. And he was just like, ah! And I was like, no!
Let Rob get through this, man. Go ahead, man.
Deku, though, flies into a rage and starts attacking Shigaraki with all he has. But in his anger, he gets too close, and Shigaraki is able to latch onto him and try and steal One For All. They are transported into the realm of One For All, and Deku sees Shigaraki there with him, and with, All For One growing out of his side, driving him forward. Deku, because he is being controlled by anger, can't move in that space, but Nana Shimura, the 7th user, appears and says that she and the other One For All users are there to help him. Meanwhile, more and more heroes are leaving the evacuation site, trying to get in the way of Gigantomachia to stop stop him from reaching Shigaraki, as another group of heroes that can fly make their way to fight in Jakku City. Aida joins them, even though he can't fly, basically saying like, hey, I just need to figure out what happened to my friends. Back in One for All for One explains that the quirks retain a piece of the consciousness of their original users. He even used, to get bad dreams from some of the people they had stolen powers from. And that's why One for All has accumulated not only the powers, but the personalities of its former users. Seeing his grandmother in front of him, Shigaraki tries to attack her and dissolve the world of One for All, but she, along with the help of the original user, hold him back, insisting that they have all chosen Deku as their inheritor, and they refuse to go with these villains to be used for evil. Even as All for One criticizes Deku for being unworthy of the power, they stick by him and manage to push the villains out without having taken the power at all. Back in the real world, as Deku and Shigaraki fall, the young villain hears All for One's voice telling him to retreat and heal so they can fight another day. Deku, meanwhile, is caught by Todoroki, safely put on the ground with Endeavor and Bakugo. Shigaraki refuses to listen to All for One, though, and continues to fight.
He's ready for the smoke.
He is very ready. The backup heroes arrive just in time, though, and Nejire uses her surge powers to knock him down. Aida tells everybody, hey, get away, but Deku refuses, saying Shigaraki will only continue to follow him. And on the back of Gigantomachia, the villains talk about what to do next as the heroes gather to stop them. Togo, however, is distracted thinking about, what it is that makes the heroes and villains earn those titles as villains and heroes.
Here comes the real shit right here, y'all.
And basically, the villains have saved people and the heroes have killed.
Yeah.
And when she finds out that Sue and Ochako are close by, she decides to go head off and meet them and ask what they think, deserves to happen to someone like her. And their answers will decide if she tries to kill them. Promising to meet up with the rest later, she leaves. Somewhere in the destruction of Gigantomachi's wake, Sue and Ochako are working on to basically save some civilians caught in the wreckage. Soon, though, an old woman comes out, asks them to help save her injured husband. And Ochako follows, telling Sue, hey, get these other people to safety. However, when she arrives at the old woman's house, she morphs into Toga and hides in the darkness of the house.
She should have noticed she was moving too fast, too.
Yeah, that old woman had some jets.
Yeah.
Ochako follows and asking, if the old woman deserved to die for Toga's game, but Toga leaps out of the darkness, trapping her on the ground at knife point, asking the young hero what she is prepared to do. Ochako judo flips her and says that, hey, I have to save as many people as possible, and if you're going to get in my way, then I will arrest you now. As they clash, Toga tries to explain, hey, I can't help the way I am. I just feel so strongly about the people I idolize. I just want to become them, which of course means taking their blood and, yada, yada. And that she feels so close to Ochako because they both have feelings for Deku. Even worse, now that she's gotten stronger, taking their blood allows Toga to use their quirks too, and she recounts how she used Ochako's quirk to kill people. Ochako says that Toga needs to take responsibility for her actions, and she agrees, pulling out several knives. Luckily for her, though, Sue shows up and knocks Toga off balance. The three seem to get ready to fight, but Gigantomachia rumbles by, and in the chaos, Toga escapes. And as she runs across the rooftops, Toga seems to know, hey, I know a path lies out in front of me at this point. Back in Jakku City, Todoroki and Nejire take turns walloping on Shigaraki, who is completely overwhelmed. And then Gigantomachia arrives and takes his master's battered body into his hands to protect him and waits for his next order. Endeavor and the rest get ready to fight this giant foe, but before he can, Dabi steps forward. He pours out a bunch of chemicals in his hair, removing the black dye.
Hi, my name is...
and reveals
Right?
his
Straight up.
true identity. Shocked, Shoto and Endeavor realize that this is their long-lost son and brother, Toya Todoroki.
Yo, we called it though.
We did
Yeah.
call it. At that same moment, the
But
computer...
it didn't. I mean, we still weren't ready though.
No. At that same time, at that same moment, the villain Skeptic broadcasts a speech to Dabi to all phones and TVs across the world, revealing his identity and the trauma that Endeavor has forced upon his family to reach his
Yo.
ideals. And he also reveals that Hawks is the son of a noted criminal and murderer, and that he has engaged in shady activity to blend in with the villains, including killing Best Jeanist. Supposedly. He even throws in the footage of Hawk stabbing twice in the back, saying that he murdered a fleeing unarmed enemy. Everybody who sees the footage is rocked and seems to shake the trust in the culture of superheroes that we see starting to rot away. While Endeavor looks on in horror, wondering how his oldest son survived the fire he thought killed him, Dabi revels in his pain, and as Todoroki urges his father to fight, Dabi jumps down towards them, charging up an even hotter, more powerful prominence burn that even Endeavor could not summon. Just before he lets loose, steel cables come flying in, wrapping up all the villains and stopping the attack.
They was dead.
And as everybody
They
looks
was
up to
dead.
the sky, they see who is responsible. The presumed dead Best Jeanist, the number 3 hero, is there, saying he's ready to return to the fight.
He
Yo.
came with the smoke. Let's start with that.
Well, Best Jeanist, first of all, I mean, it just sounds so corny. But low-key, he can be lethal as fuck.
Yeah, his ability is to control all those threads, right? Like,
Yeah.
he controls because jeans are actually cotton.
Yeah.
So he controls all.
I mean,
cotton.
he can fill up your body with that shit and choke you to death if he wants to.
Oh, but can you imagine how
He
thin those
could.
strips are? Like he could just make them super thin, strong strips and just be like, whoop, just slice through
He can-
shit.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's kind of
lot-
like there was that Edge shot hero that was like he
Yeah,
made his way
yep.
through like 9 people, and one he's just like, that wasn't a fatal hit, but if you move around a lot, you will drown in your blood anyway. Bye. Like,
Yeah.
Best Genius could be doing shit like that, razor thin.
Yeah, the only reason
absolutely.
that we saw Best Genius take a massive L was because he had to fight against All for One. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was just like,
Yeah.
yo, let's go. All for One was just like,
No.
And, I mean, at the end of the day, he's number 3 for a reason.
no, but he held his own against. Remember, All for One was like, I don't want your quirk, but you're okay.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you really doing this shit.
Respect.
You know?
Yeah. So I mean, after seeing all this and seeing, man, the Dobby. After suspecting all this, was the revealing still satisfying to you? Any huge surprises, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we called this, but at the same time, I was definitely in my feelings about it, and
Yeah.
even like pairing that up with the video reveal of like all that going everywhere, Endeavor's other kids seeing that their brother's still alive, his mom seeing that he's still alive, all those people, like he is ruining this man's life.
Yeah.
He is out there
This is
ruining.
This is the
lives.
hero. This is a hero to you guys. It really is. This is the guy who you want to follow to be your number one.
Yeah.
After all, he did all this to be number one. He was sacrificing his family. Dog, that was a great. I mean, we already knew the reveal was coming, but the way he broke it down, even with the Hawk stuff, it was just like, yo,
Oh my God.
he was just like, yo, y'all about to see who the. It makes perfect sense, and now with the media, that's how you manipulate people anyway
Yeah.
through the media. It's like, yo, how do you?
It's so funny to me though. They're like, yo, we're going around indiscriminately killing motherfuckers, but he's not a good dad. So who you following?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But essentially, it's like you got your son murdered. It was what he thought, anyways, right? But it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
with all this stuff too, like these. Not even it's that these heroes, are they really heroes for real? And it's making you
that's-
second guess some stuff. And when you're in the media, you can manipulate anything how you want to manipulate the shit. It's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing about what, I think with Mob earlier. So it's just like, yo, this is kind of crazy. And I think the reveal was still strong, even if you knew it was coming. So the writing with this is really good.
I agree.
But I
Right.
mean, even like the thing that I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I'm just take a moment. If Ice were here, it would be interesting to get his perspective on this, considering that, like, coming from a space of fatherhood, you know, to be able to say like, yo, my son, you know, who didn't feel like I gave him a fair shake, is coming back for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, my kid's not even 1 yet, and I'm over here just in my feelings watching this. Like, yo, man, let me go play with my son real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me make sure I give him
Yeah,
enough
you know what I'm
time.
saying? So let me give you extra high five today.
I mean,
you know what I'm
LeBron,
saying?
his daddy, but hey, what's up, LeBron? Like, motherfucker, fuck you. Do you
Yeah.
understand? You would never get a piece of this dynasty ever. You weren't here for me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, this is
he is coming for his neck 100,000%.
I think that like what's going on with Toya is so many years in the making. Endeavor, you know, like I think the big thing that he was really talking about that really hit home is just like, bro, like you're trying to be a man who looks forward, but you can't ever forget where you're coming from.
That was the part that hit me. Like,
Yeah.
damn. I was like, he's right. I do fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
He sucks.
we were kind of like he's gonna make his
You've
way
always
back.
hated Endeavor.
I know he reminded me because after the end of season 4 or whatever, I was
Yeah,
just
he-
like, oh yeah, okay, and he's trying, he's working
Burn
hard.
it.
I'm like,
He put the fist up
Burn.
and everything. We would have said, all right, man.
yeah,
that
he's
shit was
pretty cool.
He's making a case. To make
Bad
himself
pun
a good-
intended. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He saved everybody from that Nomu. He and Hawks.
Yeah.
It took, but can you not like the thing, like the scaling of the show? If you like reference and go back, that was one Nomu versus the number 1 and the number 2 hero.
Yeah.
But a more powerful Nomu though.
Yeah, I mean, but I think
For
that
sure.
we still haven't seen what these Nomos are up to. Like they're so
These
like,
high end ones
these-
that they're fighting right now are near high end. The only person that went up against other high end ones is Mirko, I think. And
and All Might in the
And-
first season.
yeah, and it was tough.
Yeah.
They get took
Them
some brutal
Nomos are
hits.
serious, man. Like at first I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I thought it was just like cannon fodder. It's like, nah, like these things are for real.
They
They're here to
made
stay.
it, and I'm happy that they made them like the real deal. They wasn't just some weak ass like kind of like all right putties or like Foot Clan type dudes.
Yeah.
So let's to add to this. After seeing all that, the Todoroki family reveal actually, who do you think, or do you think anybody is going to die in the Todoroki family? I'll let you guys answer this question. Brennan, go ahead.
You said, do I think anybody's gonna die from that family?
Out of the Todoroki family, out of Shoto, out
I know,
of
I
Endeavor.
know who the Todoroki
Yeah.
family is. I think that Endeavor. I said it last episode. Last time we talked about this. I think Endeavor is gonna die. I think he's going to die in an extremely heroic way, but to see the number one hero go down in shame now, it's even more of a reason he should die now. He has just been utterly, completely shamed. And then, like, he still might get killed by his son. You know? Can you imagine that? Like, he breaks out of the stuff from Best Genius, you know, and, like, Best Genius is trying to, like, hold back everybody, and he still gets through. He's like, all right, we got to dip out because that's what, you know, Shigaraki wants. But, boom, Happy Father's Day, bitch.
That's like he's a Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
What's Father's Day in Japan? What day is that?
Oh,
The day that Endeavor dies.
Yeah, I guess so. Damn.
Rob,
You know, honestly, I think Endeavor does have a higher chance of being the one that goes, but I think it would be incredibly crazy if they ended up killing Shoto Todoroki. Because if he, I know he's still kind of like on the fence about how he feels about his dad. They've definitely been making strides, but how crazy would it be for Dabi to like pick up his younger brother, fucking roast his ass alive, look at his dad and just be like, I just ruined everything you threw your life away for. Everything that you just did, everything that you sacrificed and threw away and ruined your whole life for, and now that I've torn you down with, that's also gone. You have nothing left.
I'll just let you know,
That would be top tier villainy.
I would probably cry watching that episode.
That would be
if that's what
wild.
happened, I'd just be like, but Todoroki, though. Everybody loves Todoroki.
that'll be wild because also too Todoroki Shoto was supposed to be the perfect
Right.
form.
And
It's
he
just
hasn't
like
showed up like that yet. Just to point that out, like outside of like you remember like the tournament where he was a monster. He was so much more powerful than everybody else. And ever since then, he's just been
and
like.
he was only doing one half at that
now
point.
he's just been support. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like. He's only been support.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and like that, what makes me think it might be him is I'm just like, I don't know what his end game is. Like we already know where Deku winds up, and I'm like, is Todoroki number 2? Is he Endeavor 2.0? Is that an interesting place to take the story, or is it more interesting to be like, I'm going to not only I've ruined your public life, and now I'm ruining your private life. Like everything that you worked hard for, everything that you wanted, is going to literally turn to ash right in front of your face.
Interesting answers, guys.
Anyway, because you know.
No, well, actually, I mean, I can't say I know because
Don't elaborate. Let's
yeah,
continue.
I actually,
He said, "Wait, King Mike Hall said, let's get a break your limits moment from Endeavor. Like, what? How many more of those can he do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
He's already done that.
He's done it like 3 times in this fight. You know,
Yeah.
my man is done.
yeah,
Fork in him.
I think at this point they're gonna all probably be like, "Whoa, thank God this guy came and is gonna like take what's his name the main character, the main villain right now. I forgot his name.
Oh, Shigaraki?
Shigaraki. I'm like, let's take him away. But all right, man, we gotta retreat. We all need a goddamn break right now.
Yeah.
Let's get some Sprite, some Gatorade, whatever y'all drink.
Some Sprite.
we need a break, man.
Hey, man, pour some out for twice. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, if
Nah.
Too soon? No,
Nah, I
not
don't
soon
give a
enough.
fuck
Got
about
it.
I didn't like twice that much.
yeah, whatever. So who from what universe can fuck with the full power? I'm guessing you talking about Shigaraki or Tamura? You said Tamura?
Yeah.
Tamura Shigaraki, yeah.
Shigaraki.
Same-
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Tamura Shigaraki.
Vernon.
I mean, the thing is, like, that's kind of a thing that I'm loving about this show too, is that we're doing power scaling now. And you look at the level
Full
of quirks.
powered one.
You know, if he had stayed in that purple goop for another month and had all the quirks in his body perfectly healed up the way that it was supposed to be, there's not too many characters that could fuck with this guy in any universe. You know what I'm saying? Because put him in Dragon Ball Z universe. You know, Goku's way more powerful. It's like, man, the brother regenerates. You know what I'm saying? He regenerates. He can he has all these quirks that you don't even know.
But I guess to answer that real quick from that, I mean, Beerus could get rid of him pretty quickly. Hit him with the Hakai.
yeah.
He's smithereens quickly.
I don't want to step on the toes.
No,
of
I'm
Brendan
saying
Vance.
maybe, but at the same time, it's like, what's the limit of decay? What if decay can eliminate the Hakai? Because it's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
Interesting.
touched the ground, and he just touched the ground one time and eliminated like a whole half of a city by just touching the ground. He didn't
Yeah.
have to power up.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do any of that shit. All he has to do, if he touches Beerus one time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One time, it's over. If he touches anyone one time, they're dead.
If you limit it to the main characters, that's tough.
You see what I'm
just,
saying?
Just the characters of these shows, not like the gods
And he's
and
quick.
stuff like that. Yeah.
He's very physically strong, as we saw. This whole fight has been nothing but his physical strength.
Yeah.
He's been quirkless this whole fight, and we don't even know how many quirks he has or what he can even do with them.
Yeah, we haven't seen it all yet.
No.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. We've only seen a piece of his power, and in that piece of power, he's already going toe to toe with some of the strongest people in other universes. You know, so I'm just like, yo, who fucks with this guy? Because if you put him in let's say for example, Bleach. right now, as he is, Bleach versus the Yamamoto we saw going Bankai. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we were looking at Yamamoto like, man, he could fuck with almost anybody in the universe too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, the power scaling of what he's capable of, I don't know. Because we haven't seen it, and what we have seen is fucking terrifying.
Yeah. So you don't have an answer.
I think that this puts him into the lower level of like, I would say this puts him into like the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z, which normally.
at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
saying.
sure. Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, because the thing is, at that point, like, you know, Vegeto's like, I'm gonna destroy your whole planet. So it's all right, cool. He has the power to destroy a planet at that point. So
He's at least got city destroying power.
yeah, he can destroy a
Yeah.
city pretty easily. It seems
And
like.
from a fighting, because I think at that particular point too is depending on how the characters fight.
Man, you talk fast. I'm
I know,
sorry.
yeah.
No, just so you know, I was listening to our podcast the other day at like 1.5 times speed. I can understand everybody but you.
Yeah, everybody going. I'm just going. Brrr. All right.
No, yeah, you were literally going hard because it's like Rob was yelling about how he changed his score. You know, like he changed his. Yeah, that was hilarious, Rob. Hey, I revised. You guys are right. 6,000. But in that point, like you started talking, and I was just like, "What the fuck did Keenan just say?"
Yeah,
I'm
just sound
sorry,
like
man.
that regular.
Bro.
But yeah, it is interesting to see like how you would fight him now, right?
Yeah.
If you're coming from another character, whether it's Naruto, whether it's Dragon Ball, whether it's Hunter x Hunter, whatever it is, it's like how do you fight this guy? What do you do? Do you have the scouting report on him? If you have zero scouting report on
You're
him,
dead.
and you have to fight this guy, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine him just appearing in like Hunter x Hunter, and then like Gon's
He
like,
would destroy the Hunter x Hunter universe.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's
Full
over.
Metal Alchemist, like they show up and it's like, all right, you. And
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, what?
And I can only,
tough.
I guess I can only say from a fighting perspective or a strength perspective, if you're so strong, maybe that decay can't destroy you because you're so powerful. That can be the only thing. Maybe. What do you
Yeah.
think, Rob?
Honestly, like I feel like it would have to be like UI Goku because like that's you can't touch him because
Yeah.
he's got
Right.
ultimate defense, and it would have to be something like that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. If he even lays it, like, is it that he can just touch you, or is that he has to fully
Touch
grasp
something
you?
that touches you.
Yeah.
Now at this particular point,
There's
yeah.
new power. Anything that he touches that touches you. You're standing on the ground, he touches the ground, and those little lines get to you, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, I feel safe saying like UI Goku because he wouldn't be able to be touched, and that he can like instant
And he can
transmission
fly.
and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like other than that, I struggle to think of somebody that could do that.
Yeah, I think at that particular point too, if I'm Goku, you might grab him as soon as possible and just instant transmission him to like a universe
Yeah.
so far away that he can't get back.
Put him
Is
in
it-
space.
Put Omni-Man from Invincible against him, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. I don't
That'd
know.
be a great fight, actually.
That'd
I
be-
don't
that'd
think-
be a
I think
lot of
Omni
fun.
Man would catch that work. Omni Man is like, Omni Man will start like trying to hit him, and he'd be like, dang, you're strong too. And he'd be like, that's crazy.
But what I think, I do think that his decay, if you're strong enough, doesn't necessarily. I don't think it can destroy you. To be honest.
Well, the other thing is like, I remember that what's the All for One had a quirks where he could absorb energy and absorb stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for me, it's like, isn't it crazy? Like the part that hit home for me is when Shigaraki was up in the air and he was like, these radios are annoying. What could I do? Oh, I know. I'll pair these two quirks together, and I will erase all radio communication in this entire city.
Yeah.
Done. And he was just like, bloop, done, out of his hand. What?
Yeah.
So now he starts
Have you ever
combining-
seen another villain do anything like that before? He's like, I'm gonna just. I didn't even know I could do this, but maybe if I did these two quirks together, I could eliminate all radio communications in this whole area.
It's
because It's
wild.
annoying.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So when he starts thinking like that and learning what quirks he's been given, it's like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, he's a cheat code a little bit.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
a little
maybe,
bit of a cheat code.
Maybe Aizen, you know?
Maybe.
All right. Next question. Do you think Achacho? What's his name? Achacho?
Ochako.
Achacho.
Chacho.
Could have beat Toga one on one, or if Sue didn't show up. Rob.
Absolutely not. I
Wait,
think
who's that? Who's this again?
Ochako versus
Gravity or
Toga.
whatever. Gravity chick.
Gravity
Oh,
versus Toga, the girl that
He has the
if
blood.
if Froppy, the frog lady, hadn't shown up,
Yeah.
do you think Ochako could have taken
Got it.
Toga?
Okay.
I think not.
Okay.
I think that at this point Toga is on another level and could have activated somebody else's blood in her body whose quirk she has, and just that which Ochako doesn't even know about.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when she found out like, oh, she can use other people's quirks, she looked scared.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what she would do to really contain her. I think
What if she had fucking Shigaraki's fucking blood? Would
I
she be
mean-
able to use that? What?
I don't see why not. Like if she's got Deku's blood, like
Whoa.
If I don't see why they wouldn't. If that's not the case, they wouldn't give it to her.
Well, I think the only argument against it is the toll on her body. Her body might not be able to handle it.
That's
like
true.
her body
Okay.
wouldn't be able to handle certain quirks. Like for me, I'd like give me Endeavor's blood or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like give me Todoroki's blood. Like it doesn't seem that it's too hard on their bodies.
Mm-hmm. She's actually she has a hard ass quirk.
Yeah.
That's dope as fuck.
It's crazy. When she got that level up, it was just like, oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, that puts her on like as strong as literally anybody else in the show.
'Cause
Level. If her body can handle it.
If she starts to master it or get her body to be able to handle it, she's gonna be dangerous years down the line. If, if they,
Yeah,
if
and
it
she
gets
just
to
has
that.
like a backpack just full of like all these different quirks. She's pretty much all for one, like a micro all for one.
yeah. Brennan.
I would say that fight would probably, at this current moment, I personally believe that fight would have been a lot more equal. And the reason I believe it'd be more equal is because Ochacha or Chaka, whatever the hell her name
Ochako.
is, Ochako, she seems to have a mastery of her quirk. And her like she's just really good at stuff. You know, like she's just really good at like I think her worst case scenarios, I think she would have gotten away. You know, like when she realized this is bad, like bitch can fly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let's just go from there. Like she can fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's just gonna be like, all right, well,
I'm out of here.
yeah, fuck it. Boop, touch yourself, kick off the
Goodbye.
wall, kick off the wall, and then just drop a bunch of stuff that's been hanging up in the air waiting for her anyway.
Yeah.
Drop it on her. Like, it's gonna take her a while to get out of this. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I think she could have gotten away. That's the worst case scenario. It would have been a draw, worst case. I don't think she would have taken an L there, but I do think that the next time they see each other, it wouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have to agree with Brennan with that. I think it's going to be one of those things where, you know what's interesting about her? I think when because I don't think she has master on her quirk yet, or she's there yet. I think when she gets a hold of her quirk for real, she's going to be one of the most scariest and dangerous heroes out of there. Because if she can start to make everything like a weapon, like she can turn like a full-on building, or she can probably even make the earth float. Like let's say she's on the ground, she can pick up parts of the earth and be like, all right, I can make this part float up in the air and get people out of here, whatever the case may be. Or
Yeah.
start smashing pieces of earth together,
That
picking
would
it
be
up.
crazy.
She can be crazy dangerous once she actually, to me, masters her quirk.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I think she would have been able, I think she's smart enough to be able to be like, all right, I probably can't overpower her in a fighting perspective.
And you know what? That's fair. I should give her credit where credit's due. She has always punched above her weight class.
Right. So
Like, I
I
think
think
Even when she fought Todoroki, was she fighting
She,
Todoroki?
she fought
Bakugo.
Bakugo and
She-
like put him to the wall. I mean,
She
he
did.
won, but
Yeah.
it was much closer than I think anybody thought it was going to be.
absolutely was. So I think from a perspective, she's pretty smart, and she's not going to get just manhandled in that particular way. And like you said, I think Brennan, she's gonna be like, all right, I got to rethink, regroup. When I fight her a second time, I'm gonna fuck her up. But
Yeah.
this time I ain't got it. Like I wasn't prepared for this, and so yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be
if
interesting.
if they see each other again, some type of
I'm
way.
sure they will. They didn't set that up for them to not see each other again.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is gonna be a recurrent thing for sure.
Well, yeah, their matchup is, what's. I guess it's not really a spoiler in a sense because you guys know they're going to match up again. Literally, their stuff is just starting to get down in the manga. So
Got you.
It's they about to get down. This is going to be super dope. So I'm going to skip my question because we're kind of rolling through. But
Sure.
last questions from Brennan. Do we have a scandal in real life that compares to the Endeavor situation, man? That shit was a crazy reveal. Imagine, I'm just trying to imagine now, but can you think of one off the top of your head right now, Brennan?
Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh my God. Not even close. But that's funny.
I know, right? I had to go for it.
It's funny, but
Fox News says it's the worst thing that's ever. Okay. No, I think that I honestly just wanted to say that joke, but I also really wanted this to be like a way to be able to talk about that, like how intense this controversy really is. And I think we already did talk about it. Like for them to be able to erode the baseline core foundational trust of the people against the heroes, that's a much bigger win than killing any individual hero. If they kill Endeavor, if Endeavor dies against the Nomu, but ends to take him out at the same time, or dies in general, he goes out a hero. It's somebody who gave his life for this shit. If he dies after those videos guys played and like he did the prominence burn to his face by his son to his face, everybody's wondering, did he deserve it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not mourning him. He's no longer a martyr. So in this space, I think that what's his name? Toya is doing the work that Shigaraki has been aiming to do since we've seen him step on the scene.
yeah, this is Stain's like master plan. This is like
yeah.
what he wants.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Shigaraki, Stain, Tamura, Toya.
I don't think Shigaraki and Stain are even aligned fully. I think it's really
No.
Dabi and Stain. Like Dabi literally said, like I'm pretty much doing Stain's work in a sense. Like
Yeah.
He said that, right?
yeah, he said something.
Oh yeah, he definitely said it. If not this episode, an earlier episode where he was
Yeah.
just like,
I think there's a
I follow in
difference.
Stain's footsteps.
But the thing
Yeah,
is, I think there's a
exactly.
difference, though. And here's what I think the difference is. I think that Stain wasn't doing it for the public's interest. Stain
for sure.
Stain was doing it just to call the heroes and say, you're real and you're not.
Yeah.
You're real and you're not. Don't say that you're a fucking hero if you're not a hero.
Right.
That's what Stain was doing. Whereas Shigaraki is like, I want to destroy the idea of a hero as a whole. You know,
You mean
and
Dabi or Shigaraki?
Shigaraki. I don't think Dabi wants to destroy what the idea of a hero is, because if he was doing that, then he would have gone after all the heroes. He went after 2. You know what I'm saying? He went after the top 2 heroes, but it was personal for him.
Yeah.
If Endeavor was number 5 hero, he still would have done the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that's where the line separates, is that Stain was much more singularly focused on the individual heroes, whereas Tamura and Toya are trying to change how people perceive the heroes.
Yeah. Dude, I actually wish Stain. Oh man, I wish he was. He's still locked up too, right?
Stain is locked up.
Yo, I'm sorry. Kurt Franklin's son is in real life Dabi.
Oh, that is
Yo.
great. Jamoni, man.
Wow.
Kurt Franklin's son is
That
Dabi.
is so funny.
I would say
You
Oh my
motherfucker! How dare you? Yo, Kirk Franklin was snapping on his son, bro.
That is so funny.
that is really funny. Like that, or who is that? Who's that blonde lady that was helping out Trump, and like her daughter like would go on social media and like go on live when her mom was like screaming at her or whatever. Who's
I
that?
remember that.
Yeah, it was another one. It doesn't matter. But anyway, did you gave your answer?
No, I give. You
Yeah,
gave
I said Hunter Biden's laptop.
Me
That was my-
personally, I think there's been a lot of political scandals. I forgot what scandal was it. What's that dude?
Oh, the guy in Atlanta though.
Who? Herschel?
Yeah, no, not Herschel. Whatever.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because his son the whole
His
time
son
was like,
came out and was like,
my
"Fuck
dad
this
ain't
dude."
shit. He's not been a good dad. He's not a good person. He's
Yeah.
a terrible human being. Do not vote for him. He is my dad, and I'm telling you, he ain't shit.
Well, I mean, all these people that have been like, I forgot who the.
And that kid and his son that did that, he usually is very pro-Republican, pro-conservative shit.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
even said, "Fuck my dad."
Yeah. I forgot what politician this was.
Bobby's throwing flames,
But
like,
maybe you
fuck
guys
my dad.
remember. But it was, I think it was a politician that was kind of against gay marriage, but then they ended up coming out. He was like either messing with dudes on the low or something like that.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's even the politician that he just died recently. He's a senator. I forget his name, but
This dude was a senator, I think, too.
yeah, he died, and like throughout his career, he voted against gay rights and like gay marriages.
But on the low,
And
he was
then
sitting there.
On the low, he was gay, and then he ended up getting married to his partner after it was allowed to do it, even though he voted against it. I'm like, bro,
That is wild. That is wild, bro.
Yeah.
That is wild to be like, man, fuck all this shit. And be like, hey, I mean, they eventually passed it, so
I mean, they passed.
what are you trying to do now?
Make it
But yeah,
official.
to me, that's just. I mean, I'm sure for like us, I don't really, I didn't really care about that particular guy, so like that. So I wasn't like shocked or blown away by it. But I'm sure people that either cared about that guy or was like on his side, and he came out, and it came out that they found out that he was doing that stuff on the low. I'm sure like that was a shock to those people, being like, yo, what? We
Yeah.
voted for you, and you weren't supposed to do this type of stuff, and you are this whole time you actually lived that lifestyle. Oh fuck. They probably destroyed off it.
Yeah.
So that would be, I guess, mine in a sense. What will be yours, Rob?
Real quick, the lady I was looking for was Kellyanne Conway, and I
Oh,
found that by
yeah.
literally Googling Trump blonde lady, and she was the first one that came up. It was
Hilarious.
it was her daughter that was basically going on live, and her husband too started the Lincoln Project, was the Republican-led movement to get Trump out. So her whole family was just like, "Fuck your boss," which is pretty funny to me.
That's amazing.
Anyway, my answer is Lance Armstrong. Was there anybody that like had such a huge movement behind him?
Yeah.
The whole Live Strong thing. He was just like, he was in dodgeball giving Vince Vaughn advice about just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I only was riding, the bike
one
with one
testament.
ball or whatever, but I'm sure whatever you're going through is real tough. Only to find out he was doping.
Oh man.
That shit
Wait,
was
didn't-
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
that was. I remember that. I remember that when that came out. I was kind of shocked. I was
everybody
like,
I was like, because it, like, so many people were behind this guy. It was just like, he battled back from cancer. Dude's a champion. He's winning all these Tour de France's. People care about biking or whatever. And the crazy part is, like, I don't know if you guys know this detail, but like, they had to go look at, okay, well, he's disqualified from, having won all those Tour de France's or whatever. Who gets that championship in his place? And like the next, I swear to God, this is gonna sound like an exaggeration, but like 20 to like 30 to 40 people underneath him, all doping too. all got caught up in it. And like, so the person that is like named as the champion for some of that is like, the guy was like in 50th place or something like that. Like, so not only was he doping, the entire sport was doping, which at that point, isn't he still pretty good?
You know what's funny? yeah. In all honesty, give him back whatever now. Because if it was just him doping, it's like, all right, this is why you clearly won. You had an advantage. He didn't really have an advantage for real.
Everybody was doping. And he was the best of the dopers.
Yeah. And if you're the best of the dopers, that still takes some skill and talent.
There's something there.
No,
Like,
I mean, he's
something there.
not. The thing is, Lance Armstrong still ride bikes around in circles around the vast majority of humans.
Oh,
on the planet.
100,000%.
But what you
Yeah.
do is good with one testicle.
Yeah.
Probably not.
More aerodynamic.
You
know?
couldn't help yourself, could you?
I couldn't help it, but it's just like, yo, that's crazy. That I didn't realize that you said the whole sport was doping like that.
It's like you look into it, and granted, the numbers I threw out there are just like
Wow, whatever,
probably exaggerations.
Yeah.
But it's something that when you see the number, you're like, holy shit! Like everybody was doing it, and so literally everybody was doing it.
But I think it's just funny. It's like, how do certain sports get away with it? Because it's like basketball players, like they start playing. Like, have you seen like what happens to the NBA players? Somebody drops 50 points, and they're like, the next morning, the NBA's like, go ahead, let's get that P.
You never dropped 50 before? Now we need to check you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you haven't done that before?
Or when people come back a little bit, like, I mean, I think they didn't, I don't know if they tested Kawhi or not, but I remember when Kawhi this offseason, he came back, he looked crazy buff.
Yeah.
And they were just like, somebody was just like, is he going to
Let
get
me
tested?
get a cup.
Yeah, let me get a cup for this guy.
I mean, the thing is, like, if you're gonna test anybody, test Zion Williamson.
I mean, he's been a massively big kid since he was in high school, though.
Yeah, you
like
don't
his
know.
body-
Okay, it wasn't crazy. 87% of the top 10 finishers, 61 out of 70 people, 61 out of 70 people
Tested positive.
tested positive for doping.
Nah, give him his stuff back, bro.
During the 7-year window that he won every Tour de France, 87% of the other top 10 finishers were also doping.
Nah, give him his shit back, bro. Give him his stuff back. That's tough to do.
I want to know who the person is that makes up the 13% there. 'Cause you said 87%, so that means there's at least one motherfucker there like, yo, man, I'm a
Confirmed.
monster.
Yeah, they were
that
confirmed.
person should get all the
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
That person,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of those, 48 of them were confirmed, with 39 of them having been suspended at some point in their career. So yeah, it was high percentage.
So it's like it just moved from baseball to cycling.
I guess so.
It's crazy.
We're gonna wrap this up, but let me just ask you. Lance was the dopest. That's great.
Hilarious.
Do you think some sports need it, or would they benefit from it? I think so. Football too dangerous, right? Football.
Oh yeah,
You're,
that Jets quarterback. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that
I saw that
highlight.
clip. Jesus
the Bills
Christ.
hit him. They folded that man in half.
literally folded him in half. Yes.
Folded him in half.
I didn't
I'll-
see that.
Yeah.
I'll pull it for you in a minute.
And I've seen before, and this is right now, the protocols are a lot better now. But before the protocols were even this good, I've seen some, like his, even from my team hitting people. I'm just like, bro, this person could have died. How
People
hard it-
have died on the NFL field. Like, what are you talking about? Like, people have died.
and boxing. So I would say in sports like that, where there's like that much contact, I don't think you should be able to dope.
What
But
the
for
argument?
but for baseball and like
The argument
for
against
biking,
doping, though, isn't it mostly like two reasons? It's like everybody isn't doing it, so it gives you unfair advantage, and also it's really detrimental to your long-term health. Those are the two
believe
arguments.
so,
you
yeah.
I
have.
believe so. Yeah. And I
Generally,
think
yeah.
I think
Okay.
what people do it for a lot of times
If-
too. It's not even for strength. It's more for like stamina to
Well,
keep going.
if it's bad for your long-term health, then I think nobody should be able to dope. Because the thing is that only because of the competition thing is that like if it is bad for your long-term health, like for real bad, and it gives you a clear advantage, that means anybody that wants to do this now pretty much has to shorten their lives to be able to compete on a high
Here's
level
the
and get
thing.
paid
Here's
for
the thing. If you're going to be a doper, right?
Here we go.
You, I'm just saying.
You get that fucking little shit-eating grin. You know it's always a problem.
It's not really that bad of a suggestion. You get a 5-year window in your sport, and that's it. So you can't dope for that long to probably even really mess with your real health like that.
That's kind of funny. Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if you're doping for 10, 15 years, you're most likely gonna have issues during that. But if you dope for 2 or 3 years,
I would want to talk to a
you-
scientist about this.
you'll probably be
Yeah.
fine.
You don't know. We're talking to a scientist about this.
Probably.
shit.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you over here with the liver eating guy. You know what I'm saying? The liver king. You over here like, he was fine. It's fine.
Liver king.
Oh yeah, this dude. Yeah, I found out his whole shit was.
Of course he
bullshit.
was.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw him. He's like, I eat livers. Like, no, you
No,
don't.
you do not.
Come on, bro. I mean, I feel like you can tell when you're a certain age and your body type's a certain way. If you're not like taking the dope stuff, like just the needle in the ass, you doing some enhancement that's technically probably might even be legal, but not necessarily legal from a sports perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some people out there, even probably some of these dudes that get ready for Marvel movies and shit like that. It's just like, yo,
Oh, they must be.
Yeah,
Like The Rock and all them, like they have to.
No, The
be.
Rock has to be doing it. for
What,
sure.
I didn't want to say the Rock's name, but that's who I was talking about. But it was like,
No, sorry. I mean, I don't think he listens.
I mean, but it's
The
not
Rock-
like he's not competing.
Sorry, Dwayne. I don't like. You're
No,
very
for
big,
sure,
strong
he don't
man.
listen.
I like him. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
to
I
me-
don't dislike the guy.
But
Yeah.
for me,
He
he's
should
like,
be
hey,
absolutely
but
allowed
I don't,
to.
I don't think he's needle in the ass though.
He
I
might
think
be.
I think he's
he might be.
probably just enhanced. Like, all right, cool. I want to be able
That-
to
that
keep lifting for
Negro-
more than an hour or
That
two.
Negro is taking stem cells. He's getting shit in the ass.
I have
Like,
no problem with him.
Or
taking
if not, he's taking the
steroids.
best of the best line, tiger blood type shit, whatever it is. He's-
Tiger blood.
You know, he's taking all. Remember, I think with Kobe, they said that he was taking like he got some when
tiger
in his knee
blood.
or whatever the case may be. He got like some stuff like in
I
his.
think I do remember hearing that. Yeah.
But it was like something like maybe like plasma or some shit like they spin the blood. There's some weird shit they were doing. It wasn't illegal. It was just like some new technology type shit. But anyways, yeah. My hero likes, dislikes, scores. What do you got for us, Brennan?
What I liked about it is that it's, as I think Rob has coined the term, all gas, no brakes. Even though this feels like the section that brakes are supposed to be being applied, because it's like, all right, well, everybody's slowing down physically. What more could happen? And they're like, oh, what more you say? Emotion, like
Yeah.
world-changing events.
Yep.
You know, it's like this season is shaping up to be one of the greatest seasons in any anime show in history to me at this moment. Like, there hasn't been a moment to breathe, and every moment has been so incredible. This season has been a work of art that has been a building block for the past 5 seasons. Like, they were like, we're setting all these things up just so we can do this payoff. And I have not felt payoff like this in an anime after all this buildup in a way. I haven't felt this level of payoff in something in a long time. And it's crazy because I'm feeling that same level of payoff with Bleach too.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm getting some of the biggest payoff anime dopamines that I can get on the same time. So I love it. I don't really have anything that I would say that I don't like, to be honest, because everything is top tier. The animation is top tier. The voice acting is top tier.
Yep.
The writing, the world building, everything. So I'm going with a 8,600, only because I'm scared to give anything a 9,000 after I did Princess Mononoke, which I stand by.
But that's a movie, so there's no up from there. in
Yeah,
that
there's no
sense.
up. The thing is, this could, like, you know, the next episode could be the final season of Game of Thrones for all we know. So, you know, like, I'm like, this has been incredible.
Yeah.
I don't see it going down. I don't see us hitting the break in a way that's not going to be able to keep this moving up. But this is top tier anime at its best. If you like anime, if you like to feel what you're watching, if you like to feel like that feeling of watching Goku power up when you're a fucking preteen, you know, just got home from school and he's turning Super Saiyan for the first time, this is it. This is the re-up on that drug right here.
You know, it's funny. This is not.
It is for me.
This is not the lead up yet.
Wait, oh, you're saying this is not what I'm saying it is.
It's not the peak.
It's not. This is not what this is built for. What it's built
This
for.
is still the build up?
This is still a build up.
Get the fuck out of here. This show
This
is
still
amazing.
These next. I don't know how they're gonna.
That's
break,
why I'm happy I gave the score I did, because I can still go
Yeah,
up.
I don't know how they're gonna break this down and from a season perspective, but this is just the fucking
I
beginning.
really hate it when he knows. Isn't it the worst? Isn't it the worst? Because he's over, y'all niggas,
But
y'all
it's
don't
the
even
same
know.
thing with Demon Slayer with us with
Yeah,
Demon
yeah, I
Slayer.
got you.
It's
Yeah,
like
all
we're
you
waiting
got-
for you guys, but it's just
You're
like.
ugly. You're ugly.
right.
You're ugliest. He's the ugliest of all time.
But what's like even like right now, because right now is crazy too. Is just like they're telling all the side fights that are happening along with there's a main fight happening or 2 main fights happening, whatever, and then there's also like 4 or 5 side fights. So you're just like, well, why are you bringing me here? And it's just like, oh, okay, no, this fight is actually
It's
dope
relevant.
as fuck. So it's just like what build up led to that, but this build up is to lead to another arc that's about to happen with the characters, and then there's going to be another thing that has to happen because of that happening. And that's why this is, and I know that sounds weird to say
I feel
without
you,
saying
Rob.
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, this is it. Like, this is the
No,
end of
this
the show,
is
right?
not it. This literally
Rob,
something-
doesn't it feel like this is the end of the
It
show?
could be. I don't know.
It's like
There's still like 5 more quirks trapped in Todoroki or Deku, but
yeah, that's another thing too. But it's like I think from what I was reading, it gets even a little darker than this, and then it goes to now, which I believe is going to be the end of the series, where we're at right now.
Okay.
Which everything is going down right now in the manga. So I can't give it this like the same. I can't max it out. But like you said, even though there's gas being put on right now, it's still not necessarily like, oh man, this is kind of bad. This is kind of like, no, this is still dope. You gave me story. You gave me some background. I do wish I would have got some more of the, Shigaraki's, like, I wish I would have known that who was his grandparents a little bit earlier to see how that might have played a part, and then see even his villain, his story being like, yo, no, I want revenge on them. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, I wish I would have kind of saw that instead of getting that all here, but it is what it is. These 2 episodes were fire. No pun intended again. But
Wait, they have alluded to him being the grandson of.
I'm talking about earlier in the earlier seasons.
No,
Maybe
they did. No,
They did?
yeah, they definitely
Season
did.
5, I think, is when it first came up.
Yeah,
I thought it was before that.
Not
I
that I
honestly do.
remember.
No, I thought it was like season 3. You know, where it's like, like where All For One said it to All Might. That's when the first time it came up. All For One said it to All Might. Like it was like either like before they fought or like during the fight.
He said that Shigarachi's.
Yeah, he's like you're your mentor's kid. Like I got him, and that's why you're mad. He was like provoking him while they were fighting each other.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's true. But I don't know if he remembered that at that point, because I think his memories were like locked away or something.
Who?
Shigaraki wasn't, because he didn't. It wasn't until season 5 that he
No,
was just
Shigaraki.
like,
I'm
all right.
saying Shigaraki, but I'm saying we knew. Is what
Right.
I'm saying.
Yeah, if that's the case, then my bad. That might have just
Yeah,
slipped
we've
by,
known
I
it.
might have
We've
forgot.
known it for a while. Like
Okay.
that was like I remember it wasn't that long after he was introduced as a character.
Okay.
Obviously, he's introduced as a character in season 1, but it was like season 3.
Okay.
I think that they said that.
That's fair. So my bad, Abe. I be forgetting shit. But anyways, these 2 episodes super fun. It's one of those things like I'm just annoyed how slow anime kind of goes. So we had to wait for this shit weekly. Luckily, we're doing other animes at the same time. So it's
Can you
making it
imagine
kind
if
of go
this is
by.
all we were watching right now? You'd be ready to kill yourself.
It'd be crazy.
Yo, that too, but then also too, I wish it was able to be binged. Like it was like, all right, we threw out this whole season.
Yeah.
Nah, man, this is part of the. This is part
Well,
of
I
being
mean,
an anime fan.
it's making the season better, to be honest.
No, but say
It
this is
for
part
sure.
of being for me. This struggle, this pain is what it is to be an anime fan.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
This
very
is
true.
it. This is it. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is what allows us to have a podcast. If they just put out a whole binge of a season, we'd be like, shit.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
how are we supposed to review this? You know?
That would be crazy.
All right, so out of these 2 episodes, super dope as hell. I think I've been staying in the 8,000s for for these shows. So I'm gonna stay in the 8,000s. I'm gonna get this one to 8,100. Nothing bad. Nothing. It dropped just because I'm just letting my scores go up and down with this right now. But it's still incredible. Still top tier anime as of right now. I might even have this slightly over the blood arc with Bleach.
Oh, wow.
1,000 Year
Yeah,
blood arc with
okay.
Bleach. Even though Bleach has been going gas.
Bleach has
you
been
know, all
going in
gas,
too.
too.
Yeah,
I'm
Bleach
caught-
has been going in.
I'm caught up on Bleach. I watched today's episode.
Haven't watched today's
You're gonna
episode.
enjoy it.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it.
Okay.
Rob, what you got for us?
Yeah, I don't have too much new to add to what you guys are saying. Like, I would say maybe we watched episodes 10 and 11. 10 may have been a little bit of a California roll. Like, it maybe tapped the brakes like a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to go into that, like, the
We're on a California roll.
yeah,
man.
you know,
Get your job done.
it was still moving.
Yeah.
But like they slowed down a little bit just
Yeah.
to get into the one for all world and all
Sushi
that.
roll, California roll.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, episode 11 came right back with it, and it was right back into it. So, I've really enjoyed it. It's been great. I find it hard to find nits to pick. But I know this. I can just tell from where they are. This is just going to keep getting better. So I have to give myself room. I'm going to give it an 82, a strong 8200.
A strong.
Strong 8200.
Y'all some hoes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm.
Neither one of you arguing with my score at all. You're like, no, that's. I just want to have
Listen,
room to go up.
I just that's it.
That's
Like,
really
I
what it
just-
is.
I feel like it's gonna go crazier, and then I'm gonna look back and be like,
So I have what
Yeah.
I get that, but for me, what I have to look at is I'm comparing this anime to the other anime experiences that I've had.
I get that.
Not the ones that I think I'm going to have.
That's fair.
So that's
Fair.
where my score is.
That's
yeah,
fair.
but I also too think when let's say I want to know if I rewatch this, would it stay? Let's say I gave it 8,600. Would it stay at 8,600 a month from now?
I mean, I feel like we have to acknowledge that there's the retroactive 9,000, or else what does the 9,000 exist for in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
way where it's just like if a 9,000 exists a permanent classic, very rarely do we just to know how we do things get to review something that is that old, that is a classic that stands the test of time.
I feel like we gave that. Did I give that episode with when Deku fought what's it? Oh, the Destroyer dude. I forgot his name.
Overhaul?
Overhaul. I feel like I gave. One
I don't
of those
remember
episodes.
which you gave that, but I
Damn,
know
that
up
was
to
so
that
good,
point,
too.
Ice is the only person that I believe, other than Brendan, that has given a 9,000, and it was for
Bleach.
for Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Which I can see. I'll say that, but I don't know. I honestly don't know which show is better. At
I
this
feel like I
moment.
gave Overhaul 9,000, but if I didn't, that's understandable. But yeah, man. That's it for the episode for this week. We'll be covering Chainsaw Man and Bleach next week, so hopefully these turn up. I mean, Ice already gave me a spoiler. on fucking
Chainsaw Man? Of course he
'cause-
did. Yeah.
Well, he gave me a spoiler because he was like, "Hey man, here's my questions for this week," and it was the wrong fucking show. So so he gave me
Damn,
that.
Ice.
So yeah, go ahead and drop your
Well,
stuff.
you're the spoiler guy, so you know you.
Hey, that's
you don't mind it.
you're wearing a Blue the Artist.
Yep.
Blue the Great.
Blue the
yeah,
Great.
I have a hoodie like that.
Blue the
I
Great.
have the
Shout out
Kobe,
to
yeah, I
Blue the
have the Kobe hoodie.
Yeah, I got the 8 and the 24 shirt.
I got
I
to
don't know
shoot
which one
it.
is
I
this
shot
today.
a HBO's commercial with him, and then he gave me the hoodie at the end of the commercial.
Oh, super dope.
Hey,
Yeah.
Shout out to.
You got any more of
Blue.
those? So I can get one.
Blue the Great.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Blue the Great on Instagram. There's a link in his bio. You can go ahead and get it.
Perfect. I'll get one.
I don't think he has it no more.
Oh,
I think
yeah, I
he
think
was
it
doing
was
it for his,
limited.
yeah, for
Yeah,
a
it was a
short
limited
period
edition.
of time, a couple years back when he passed.
All right, go ahead and drop yourself, guys. Brennan.
I am Brennan, and I am on the gram at Brennan, BRENNON, produces. Yeah, that's it. At Brennan produces.
I kept it in, man. I didn't say anything, man.
How would you say, hoe ass, bitch ass, Brennan?
At.
I was
Go
like,
ahead.
at.
Ice.McGowan on everything. Please check me out on YouTube. Please check me out. I dropped a short film on there on my YouTube like
It's
2 months
good.
ago on Halloween. Oh, you saw it?
It's
Oh,
good.
Okay.
The Western, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
No,
dropped
I
it
didn't
on
see
there.
that. I didn't see
I'm surprised.
Damn.
So I shout out to everybody that's watched it already. If you haven't watched it, go look at it. And if you
No, it's
already
worth
watched it,
watching.
watch it again.
Yeah.
Definitely would argue that it's worth watching. You guys should check it out. Give him some love in the comments.
Please, all of that.
I see Rob is holding his finger up right now for his.
I'm just.
He's keeping his light illuminated. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Rob. What you got?
I got Afro Anime Senpai on Instagram. That's the artist I'm shouting out. Afro _anime _senpai. They don't have too much of a following, so check them out. You know, and they got a really cool style. Some of it's photorealistic, some of it's a bit more animated, some of it's a bit more anime. You know, and all that stuff. So check them out. They're pretty cool.
King my I'll give it 8200. So yeah, follow me, Keenan Baker, on every single thing. If you're going to be, I'm going to be in actually Arizona this weekend with Tony Baker. So that'll be this Friday. That is the 16, 17.
16, 17.
Yep.
15, 16, 17. I'm going to be out there with Tony Baker. DC Irvin will be actually featuring. I'll be just be jumping in and doing some guest spots, having a little bit of fun. Brandon Lewis from Roast Me is hosting. It's going to be super dope, man.
That's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
super
It's a
dope.
good lineup.
Dogs.
So it's going to be a super fun lineup. Yeah, man. Check that all out.
That's a Tony Baker and Friends special lineup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn near. Yeah,
Oh.
beside-
Keon's
There's
not
missing
there.
Keon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
Damn.
Chaz don't do comedy no more, so yeah.
He really stopped, or he's just saying it?
That's what we say.
Oh,
Yeah, he don't. He
Oh.
does. I mean, he always. Chaz's excuse is like, I'm too out of practice. And it's like, well, then get up there and practice.
I'm writing. It's just like, bro, there's other writers that still. I want to get into it. I'll be dogging them out all fucking time. But yeah.
Favorite special guest, Chaz Rogers of the podcast.
But you know what it is. Join that Patreon, patreon.com/animation, SHUN. Join us. You know, these live streams are back on YouTube, but you don't get the Patreon experience from that. But you can watch that on there too. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Animation. We outro.
we out show.
And so anime was solved forever.